All right, we should be
So
live
yeah,
now. I just got to check the just check the stream and see that we're
yeah.
both coming through. I think everything's set right. We should both be coming through on the audio.
Mhm. Yeah.
We should be
So
very
as I
good
was
at coming through on
mentioning,
the audio.
Zorg from the Fifth Element
We should
has
be
transitioned. So as
very
I
good
was
at coming through.
mentioning, well, first of all, crossed over into reality.
Yeah.
Probably with the ticket from Last Action Hero.
There you go. I
Then
like the
transitioned
crossover
being
pull there. Nice, nice. Ticket from the Last Action Hero.
yeah,
Good touch.
and then again transitioned or well, let's say she transitioned. He transitioned to a woman first,
Oh, because
and
in the
then
movie
crossed
it would
over.
actually work. Yeah, it's not like real life it doesn't work,
Yeah,
but in
yeah,
a fictional universe it could.
yeah.
Yeah,
Fictional
I mean,
universe, they wouldn't
considering
have to
how
like
far that
fashion
looks like
stuff.
it's in the future, perhaps in that universe you absolutely can just walk in and be like, "I want a vagina," and they're like, "All right, $5."
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they wouldn't have to just fashion it in. It's just magic.
Yeah, it's like, well, you just
Fantasy
sit in a
is
machine, and the
thick and
machine does like the
and
3D printing your vagina in you. Like it did when could
yeah.
have brought the
So
chick back to life, where she was just like, I thought that to me that was the most interesting thing, right? Like they had
mhm.
literally like a hand left, and they connected and rebuilt the body with like 3D printing technology in that movie.
Yeah, yeah. It
How
was
would
pretty
that
fucking
person have
insane.
any of the memories of the person? Like
Yeah,
that was the most absurd part of that. I was like, yeah, you've reprinted somebody with zero information in their head. Like there's no way their brain would have any information in it.
yeah. I feel like the DNA doesn't recreate the brain and all the memories. So
Yeah, the memories are like totally like different. Like neurons build or there's neural pathways that are built when you are making memories and learning things and storing
yeah,
information in your brain, and those are not dictated by your DNA whatsoever. Like your DNA doesn't record that.
yeah,
Like it doesn't like take a download of your brain every day and like put it in your DNA. So yeah,
yeah,
no, it would
yeah.
be
And I
somebody
feel
who is
like
completely without any intelligence whatsoever. Like they'd have to be learning from being a baby essentially.
yeah,
So
yeah.
that
To move
was
at
weird.
all,
Yeah.
like they wouldn't even know how to do that at first, right?
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
to
exactly.
kind
They'd
of
literally
figure
be a
out.
baby. They would just lay there and shit themselves and cry and stuff like that, like a baby. I mean, it takes
Yeah,
us,
it
what,
doesn't seem
like
like
3 years to learn how to get to the point where you can walk and use really basic language, and you don't really. Like, you're layering knowledge for a long time when you're a little kid until you get to the point where you're, like,
yeah.
actually able to be, like, a reasonably intelligent human being who can, like, figure things out and do things and interact with the world.
Yeah, definitely wouldn't be able to just smash your way out of a thick glass fucking tube and
Yeah.
fucking escape out of,
I
smash
mean,
through a
I
wall.
have to assume it's some sort of magic
Yeah, or
for the
yeah,
sake
they're
of
like,
like
oh no, the
this, you know.
soul's a thing. Soul's definitely a thing. So her soul re-inhabited the body, and that's
That
why.
that actually would make more sense in a fictional universe. Like, all right, I'm down. It's a it's a movie, sure.
Mhm. Yeah, we'll go with that.
That
So,
that works
anyways,
better because from a fictional standpoint, that just fits the storyline and it's an easy fix.
yeah. So, anyways, so that Zorg from the villain from that movie again transitioned first, crossed over into reality. Got into a relationship with a tiny Mexican man, and one night stuffed her into a suitcase and mocked him for a while and smashed him with a bat a few times, and then drunkenly passed out and didn't let him out first, and he died. And that's the Sarah
Yeah,
Boone trial.
and I
That's the
like that she's
backstory.
pretending that it wasn't intentional.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. The fact that she didn't even remember recording herself filming the suitcase, and again, just literally mocking the guy as he's saying, "I can't breathe, Sarah, let me out," or whatever.
Yeah, that was some of the most brutal
Yeah,
shit I've ever seen on video. Where I was just like, I feel sick. I gotta go do something else now. Like it was just so gross.
yeah, it's disturbing, man. So yeah, the trial just started like this week, basically. I think Yeah, this is like the fourth or fifth day or something like that. So essentially within the last week for sure. That happened back in like 2020, and I don't know how familiar you are with the case, but she ran through 8 lawyers that quit the case or she dismissed.
Yeah, I was gonna say I thought there was like a whole bunch of different lawyers that went through, and it's a sign of like her narcissism or something. Like she's got super
Oh
narcissistic
yeah,
issues.
yeah. Oh yeah, she definitely is. Definitely is. Again, not diagnosing anyone, just speculating on what could be going on in a situation like this.
Oh yeah,
To
well
quote
obviously
Dr.
we're not
Todd Grande.
diagnosing. We've never like sat down and interviewed her directly. We can't.
Yeah,
But you can
yeah, exactly. No, I was,
you can presume like be like I would guess that she's
yeah. If I had to guess, yeah, so that is what we're doing. I was quoting Dr. Todd Grande, if anybody's familiar with that guy, but that's his disclaimer on every
I think
video.
you. Oh, okay, that
Um,
makes sense. He would have that as a
yeah,
disclaimer because he does a lot of psychology
yeah,
stuff around that.
he actually is a psychologist or whatever, so he kind of has to make that clear. Yeah, I don't think anybody's coming after us for not pointing that out, but I thought I'd throw it in there. But yeah, dude, I was just watching that because I still find it so fucking fascinating. The level of narcissism that's on display from this bitch, dude. They offered her because again, her putting him in a suitcase, not letting him out, causing his death. None of that's in dispute, other than her saying not intentionally, right?
Yeah, like nobody in their
Actually,
right mind believes it was unintentional, but yeah.
yeah, but even if you're granting that, it's still crime because you should have known that would have killed him. But anyways, dude, like earlier, like a few days ago, the prosecution or whatever, DA's office, whatever you want to call it, actually offered her a plea to like involuntary manslaughter, to where the thing would be like I think like 15 years or 12,
Yeah, because of the
somewhere around
ridiculous
there.
bias our justice system has towards women. Like, they should be
Yeah,
throwing the most highest charges they think they can possibly get to stick at her.
yeah. Yeah, no,
Because
they
it's a
are. They're trying to.
disgusting and
They're
depraved
charged
crime.
there.
Like, if a man had done this to a
Yeah.
woman, people would be calling
Oh
for him
my
to be
god.
drawn and quartered to the public fucking square.
Yeah. Yeah. He might actually get lynched on the
She
way
deserves
to the fucking...
execution. Like, this was a premeditated
Oh, yeah.
murder, in my opinion. She should be getting executed. There shouldn't even be a question as to that.
Yeah. No, they're going for the second degree murder thing, which I think is the minimum you could Yeah, first degree, wouldn't be out of line in my mind either. But yeah, second degree murder.
Oh yeah, they're gonna do whatever they're gonna do.
Again,
Yeah, I mean, reality just is what it is.
yeah, and this bitch rejected that, and I haven't found anyone yet that has said that was a good idea.
No, that's
so yeah, what
crime.
happened, dude? Yeah, I assume you haven't really been following it that closely lately, right?
No, I haven't. Because I mean, like
so,
once you see it, you're like, I'll just wait and hear what the outcome is. You know.
Right. Yeah, it's going pretty quick. Like it shouldn't be more than like Monday or Tuesday probably before it's completely over, jury and all that shit. But anyways, she after the 8th lawyer and all the delays caused by having 8 different fucking lawyers on the case and either quitting or her dismissing them, the judge was finally like, all right, that's it. You're going to represent yourself. We're moving forward with this. And then basically when she found out that every single, what do you call it? Like letter to the judge or any of that shit that she writes is publicly available, right? So she writes a letter to the judge that is essentially, hey, you want to come represent me and get a little fame on your side? So it's supposed to be a letter to the judge, but it's essentially an advertisement for any lawyer that wants to come and get a little fame for representing her pro bono.
Oh my god.
Dude, seriously, is that not fucking...
That's
I mean, it's like
so
clever,
fucking scummy.
God, it's fucking horrible. Yeah, it's horrible. Like again, pretty clever if you got to, you know, you kind of begrudgingly give her that, but so fucking gross, dude. So, anyways, there was a guy that
Hard
took
to
her up on
think
it.
that the public doesn't absolutely despise her at this point.
Yeah, I can't imagine, dude. So yeah, that happened, and dude, it's funny because today there was some point. I don't remember exactly what the point is. Because I came the defense lawyer was fucking refusing to fucking budge on. But whatever it was, they kept having these sidebars like three times within like I don't know, about an hour, hour and a half. No, yeah, less than an hour actually, because basically they had to keep excusing the jury so they could talk about it outside of their presence or what, you know how that shit works, right?
Mm-hmm.
I assume, and I have to explain that. That happened like three times, and the jury was probably actually in the room for a total of about 10 minutes. So they'd be in for a few minutes. They'd start going back to the questioning. The defense guy would object or do whatever he does, or the other guy object. They'd do a sidebar. The judge would be like, "All right, jury, you're back out." Then dismiss them for a while. Then defense would say some more stupid shit, and whatever motion or objection would get not ruled in their favor. And yeah, that happened like three times within an hour. So like I feel like the jury has to hate the defense team, and probably already the.
Well,
You know,
especially because you know it's probably something that the fucking lawyer knew wasn't going to get through. Like, if you already did it once, the next two times is kind of fucking pointless.
Yeah. Because, yeah, it did seem to be essentially the same issue that he kept trying to fucking spin three different ways.
Mm-hmm.
So that's happening.
Yeah, and, you know the jury knows. Like, they're like, motherfucker.
Yeah, and the fact that I think what she's counting on is that all she really needs to do is convince one juror, or hope one juror forgets that the way the law is written, being drunk does not excuse you from any crime you commit while being blackout drunk.
Yeah, of course it doesn't excuse you from committing a crime. That's the dumbest shit I've ever heard.
Yeah, no, I'm glad it's actually the law, because you never know with that kind of shit. But I feel like that's what she's hoping for. Or whatever angle it is. She's like, I just got to convince one of these people, because they're actually claiming, and this is fucking amazing, they're claiming that her putting him in the suitcase like that and not letting him out was a self-defense situation. Yeah. Her cramming him into a suitcase, zipping him up, not letting him out, was a self-defense situation.
How is that self-defense?
Yeah,
like,
no,
do they have an argument to justify it, or what? I'm curious. Like,
yeah, I guess it's partly to say, well, mainly, I guess, saying, yeah, well, once I didn't let him out right away, if I did let him out, he was gonna like beat me to death, so I just left him in there. Like, that's kind of the rationale. It's ridiculous because, again, she created the situation to begin with, and leaving a guy in there till almost death, like, yeah, no, you should get beat.
Then you just
pretty close
call
to death.
someone else to come and let him out.
Yeah, or
the police.
Let him out and run the fuck out yourself or whatever, dude. Yeah, there's plenty of fucking actions that, even if that were true, yeah, could have easily rectified other than just leaving him there to die.
Literally calling an ambulance and the police. My boyfriend's in here. I think he's going to be needing help. But I'm worried if I let him out, he's going to attack me. So I need somebody to protect me while I do it, and I need some medical people to take care of him. Boom, done.
Yeah, and I had like I'd seen pics of the guy, but not like his full body or whatever. He's a short little Mexican dude, super short, super skinny. So he's like 5'1" or something like that, like literally 5'1".
I mean, he fit in a suitcase, so obviously he's tiny.
Yeah, And dude, I don't know if you've seen the suitcase, like the proper dimensions of it, but even considering that, it's fucking crazy how small that suitcase is.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's fucking crazy that he fit in there. Like, it seems like it. I'm trying to see if there's one picture so that shows the proper scale, because they had it like
Didn't she
stood up,
also try to
like
like
the
hide the
tallest it can
suitcase
possibly
and
be.
dispose of it too? Like
I don't
after he
think
was
so.
dead?
No, no, no. She
Oh,
got him
okay.
out of it. She called her fucking ex-husband to come over and try to save her for some or whatever reason. I called him like twice, and like waited until she knew he was on the way, and then called 911. Um, and then no, I don't think she ever tried to do anything with to get rid of the suitcase. See if this shows it. But yeah, they had it like stood up, right? And it like barely came above the person's knee, like standing as tall as it possibly can get. Like not long wise, but like yeah, tall, yeah, as tall as it could possibly be. Like came up to like the lower thigh. This
Wow.
kind of shows it. Yeah, here, let's see if this helps. I'm gonna put this in the Discord here, but um, yeah, this isn't the greatest pick. I'll see if I can find a better one, but it kind of gives you an idea of how small that thing is. So yeah, the person holding it, like it looks like the bottom there is essentially to around their waist,
Yeah.
and it like would come up to not even the top of their head. It looks like from that pic, or maybe right around the top of their head. So like the waist, it's hard to tell how tall that person is too. But yeah, even considering how small the guy was, it had to be so fucking insanely cramped. And yeah, whether you're claustrophobic or not, that's a fucking hellish way to fucking die. That is
Yeah.
just torture.
While you're and on top of that, beating him with a baseball bat and mocking him while he's dying.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, I
She
guess that you've
literally
heard it where
tortured a
she's
man to death, and they're going murder in the second degree.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's pretty fucking gross, dude.
Oh, and the fucking worms
Mhm.
offered her manslaughter. Are you fucking serious?
Yeah, involuntary manslaughter. Like she'd already served like 4 years, so like I think it was like 12 or something. So like she would only have to serve about 4 or 5 more. It's like 12 or 13 years. So like with the good behavior and all that shit, she could have gotten out in like another 4, maybe 5
Yeah, there are
years.
people who just don't belong in society at all anymore. And she's one of those
Yeah,
people. Like, you should just never put her back in society.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, like I hope the other female inmates or
She's a
somebody
monster, man.
takes some
Anybody
switch
that
at.
does that is a monster. Male, female, black, white, it doesn't matter, man. That is disgusting.
Yeah, it's fucking. Yeah, and they were playing during the trial. They were playing other because obviously that's not the first time the cops showed up at their place. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So they were playing some of the previous, body cam footage and all that kind of shit. And yeah, she's as psychotic as you'd fucking expect. And it
I would
seems like
assume virtually all of the abuse in that relationship was from her to him.
yeah, yeah, yeah. In fact, I suspect, or what I consider most likely is that any because there are pictures of her with like bruises and shit. I don't think he did them. I think she beat the shit out of him and then
Hit
marked
herself.
herself up.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, yeah. I consider that the most likely thing. It was funny.
If
Someone
he's
in the
small
chat was
enough to
like,
fit in
"Hey,
that
wild theory."
suitcase.
Like somebody like non-sarcastically said, "Hey, wild conspiracy theory. Maybe she injured herself." I'm like, by wild conspiracy, do you mean most likely?
Yeah.
Like even the guy, the legal mindset was like, yeah, no, that's most likely what happened. Hmm. So yeah, you could tell she was definitely the fucking um, the dominant person in that relationship,
Oh, yeah.
like by far. Yeah, yeah. So I remember at one point they were asking him like, "Well, has she hit you before?" Like, "Oh yeah, all the time." Yeah. So do you normally start it? No, she does. And I don't think
Here's the thing. The
that would have
dominant
been his
person
answer
who's
either way.
abusive and normally attacks the other person would never hide themselves in a suitcase. That
Yeah.
is the opposite
Yeah.
of something that somebody with that psychological profile would do.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah. No, I don't
zero
doubt she
worlds in
was.
which that's the case. Nobody who beats the shit out
Yeah.
of their wife is going to go, okay, baby, put me in a
Mhm.
position where I can't do anything. Like,
Yeah. Where I'm under
no,
your.
that's
Yeah.
a
Where
terrible
you have
fucking
all the
plan.
control. Yeah. 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 I didn't really think of that aspect of it, but I just figured she obviously tricked him into doing it. Not like because some people are like, well, maybe at first they were playing around and then some switch
Oh,
flipped in their
yeah.
head, and I'm like, no, no, like maybe, but I seriously doubt it. I assume
No,
she acted all
that's
fun and
fucking, that's
lovey-dovey, like,
absurd. That
yeah,
is absurd.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I assume she acted like it was a big fun, lovey-dovey, jokey thing. The narcissistic mask fully on, pretending they're just having a drunk good
Oh, yeah.
time. Got him in there, and then as soon as she knew he was fucking trapped, let him know exactly what was going on.
Yeah, I would be shocked if she hadn't planned on killing him
Mm.
a long time prior to that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Or at least not right then. Yeah, it might not have been that night. It might have been that night, but I doubt it. I'm with you. I
I
seriously doubt
suspect
that
that
was.
this is the fruition of a plan that was long term in like maybe not necessarily the specific method, but she had probably planned to kill him for a while when that opportunity presented itself. Is what I would
Yeah,
suspect.
yeah. I assume because the cops were definitely like, and the ones that I had seen, and were not the first time that the cops had been over there. That cop specifically, most likely, and you could tell he was sick of her shit. The cop was absolutely sick of her shit. Even though they end up having to arrest him because of the way the fucking bullshit works.
Oh yeah, because if a
Hated
woman
to have
says
to,
something, it has to be true. So of course it's he's the bad guy.
yeah, listen and believe.
Here's the thing: I have known multiple battered husbands, so that really pisses me off. Because like I've heard that story from other people, not to this degree,
Right.
obviously, not like where the guy ended up dead, but like I've literally met multiple men who have had to deal with being battered by their significant other, their wife or their girlfriend.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of reasons they have to put up with it. Like one of the ones that's really awful is what they'll end up stuck putting up with it because they have kids and they know that if the wife wants to, she can take away the kids. That's usually the most common leverage that they have against the wife. It's really sad because it's usually it's like a devoted father that really wants to like take care of their
is willing to be that abused like that just for his kid's sake.
Oh yeah, I worked with a guy that came in
Actually, I guess
on maybe 4 different occasions before he finally got out of the relationship with big ass black eyes, both his eyes blacked out from his girlfriend beating on him.
Jesus,
dude. He never put a hand on her. This bitch beat him fucking black and blue multiple occasions, bruises all over the place. I mean, it was fucking terrible. And he never put a hand on her. Never, not once did he ever put a hand on her in defense of himself, even because they had babies, and he was like, I don't want to, not be able to see my child anymore.
Yeah, and even though he's fucking obviously not the aggressor, the minute he fucking strikes back, she's gonna call.
Oh, he would never start anything. He was one of the nicest people on the planet.
Yeah.
I met the guy. He was genuinely one of the nicest people on the planet.
Yeah, I guess I actually kind of do fall into that category, but it's just the fact that I'm much bigger than my ex. But if she had the, when she would hit me, I would just kind of laugh at her and be like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, you know what I mean? Like, you're not going to fucking hurt me.
Yeah.
So the intent was certainly there on more than one occasion.
Oh, yeah.
just again, I'm just way, way too much bigger than her. So I guess again I qualify, although I don't feel like a battered spouse because again, hardly any of it ever
Oh yeah.
actually
So
hurt.
in the case of the dude that I knew, he was this rockabilly dude who was like 5'10", 170, 180 pounds. Not real big, but not like super small,
Right.
like average sized guy.
Yeah,
And she was like a 300-pound, like 6 foot tall woman, big old
yeah,
fat chick,
gotcha.
big old fatty, and she just beat the shit out of him. And I'm like, man, how you put a baby in that in the first place while you were getting beaten by that blows my mind because like I'm not against
Yeah,
dating fat chicks, but like if she's gonna be beating on you all the time, like how do you want to put a baby in somebody that's punching you?
yeah,
Like,
that's
I don't
fucking
know that I could
crazy.
get it up with a chick that I'm being beat up by. Like I probably wouldn't. I don't. How do you? Is she
Was
like
it
tape it to
like
popsicle sticks? Is she gonna take popsicle sticks to the side to keep it straight to put it in? Like, because it's not gonna work, man.
Christ, dude? Yeah, it's fucking gross. Although I wonder, did the like was it she kind of always abusive, or did it start like after they had
Oh, you know
kids
what?
or
That's a good
anything?
question. I never asked that question. It might not have started until after they had kids.
Yeah. Although
Yeah,
I
that would make a lot
assume,
of sense.
yeah. So yeah, yeah, you never know. Although probably, or at least not all the kids anyway were born before she probably started beating them
Yeah,
up. So he
most
probably
likely.
did knock her up at least once or twice
Yeah,
after
yeah,
the
yeah, most
beating, after
likely.
she started beating the shit out of him. Yeah, that's fucking crazy, dude. So, anyways, yeah, the trials. It seems
Good
like it's
lord.
going to be over fairly quickly, so that'll be nice to find out finally after 4 fucking years.
Yeah,
Shit,
and
almost 5.
hopefully she goes to prison for at least 20 years. Like I don't know what the
Yeah,
law is, but I would say at the very minimum she should be doing
uh,
20 years in prison. Personally, I think
I
it should be
think
more like fucking forever in a
life.
forever box.
Yeah,
But give her the
yeah,
room
or
temperature,
death.
put her in a suitcase and just leave her in a cell.
Indeed.
I would be fine with that. I'm normally not down for that, like the torture retribution thing, but sometimes,
Yeah,
man,
there's
it's
certain
merited.
cases
Like
that.
that is one of the few times when I would say like, no, you should stick her in a very small box and just leave her in a room by herself, and just play the tape of her
Yeah.
mocking him over and over on the loop while she fucking dies in the box.
Mm.
Yeah,
Yeah, definitely want to prolong her suffering as long as possible,
yeah.
at least until it matches, what he had to fucking deal with.
Oh yeah.
Maybe double. Make it punitive. Make it at least 3 times
Well,
as
and the thing
long.
is, like, she almost got away with that pretty much. They were going to give her mostly time served, it sounds like. I bet you they would have had her out on the street within, like, another year or two, if not sooner, with probation, or like, oh, the prisons are full, we can't keep her. She's just a poor little woman.
Yeah,
Woman
if I
who is
remember it, it
being
was like
abused,
13.
by the guy that she killed,
Yeah,
murdered brutally.
yeah, yeah. I believe it was like 13 years. So, like with the, what is it? You have to serve like 70% or something for with good behavior. Yeah, it would have been like another 4 or 5 years.
Oh
Because
no,
again,
but
you
I'm
get
just
time
saying, like,
served out of the
that's one of the
gates.
things they do now, though, is they find
Oh,
ways
right,
around that limit.
right,
Like there's
right.
the guy that
They'll be like
murdered somebody's
overcrowding.
daughter. He was like, this guy murdered somebody's daughter, and they gave him probation.
Yeah, they cite the overcrowding bullshit
Yeah,
or
yeah.
whatever.
This is the
Yeah,
bullshit that they came up with, and it's like the whole COVID thing was not just to get people to take a bunch of dangerous things so that companies could make money, but also so they
yeah.
could
They want to.
justify not holding people responsible for their actions in court.
Yeah, let them out and make Trump look bad
Yeah.
when they do more crime, like they intend them to do.
Well, and then as soon as
Yeah,
it's what do you call it? As soon as it's their turn to be in office, they just start saying that certain things aren't crimes anymore.
Yeah.
Like, oh,
Yeah.
that's not a crime anymore. We decided that's perfectly fine now.
Mhm. Yeah. They're like, we're not going to just let you riot anymore since the Democrats are in the, executive branch, but
Have you collected all the
we'll still let a
ingredients?
bunch of you off with a slap on the wrist.
Man, it's
You
just so
notice all the rioting
gross.
pretty much, not immediately, but the rioting stopped shortly, not too long after Biden got into office.
Oh yeah. Well, then they care. Well, but they stopped covering it.
Yeah.
Like, all the rioting kept going. Like, I think there's still riots that have gone on since then, right?
Oh yeah. But they weren't put up with like they did when Trump was in power. Like I think they kind of had to make it clear that, yeah, no, that was just to make Trump look bad. We're not going to allow you guys to do that shit anymore.
Oh, okay. That sucks, man.
So I think I think it took a little bit for everybody, anybody that was inclined to riot, realized that, and it kind of fell off pretty drastically.
Yeah.
Like, oh shit, they're actually busting people for this now. Okay, I better not do that.
Man, that whole thing is just so gross. So
Yeah, it's
fucking
really
disgusting.
disgusting. So yeah. Anyways,
So let me tell you
what
about
happened?
this bullshit I did at work that was hilarious to me.
All right.
So there's this thing called Strengths Finder from Gallup. I don't know what it is, but they bought us each these little books, and this is the second time we've done it. But let me read you the cover here, because the cover really says pretty much it all. Do you have an opportunity to use your strengths every day? Chances are you don't. All too often, our natural talents go untapped. From the cradle to the cubicle, we devote more time to fixing our shortcomings than developing our strengths. To help people uncover their talents, Gallup introduced the first version of its online assessment, Strengths Finder, in the 2001 management book. Now discover your strengths. The book spent more than 5 years on the bestseller list, blah, blah, blah. Gallup then unveiled a new and improved version of its popular assessment, Strengths Finder 2.0. Language of 34 themes and much more. Okay, while you can read this book in one sitting, you'll use it as a reference for decades. Loaded with hundreds of strategies for applying your strength, this book will change the way you look at yourself and the world around you forever. Does that sound like a legitimate thing to you?
No.
Does that sound
Yeah,
like a fucking
that's more
scam?
dreamland bullshit. Yeah.
It sounds like a fucking
Jesus,
scam
dude.
to me.
Fuck, man. Even who moved my cheese is more fucking useful than that, I guess.
Yeah. You were
You
probably
familiar
reading
with
this
that?
book and taking an assessment because your manager, team leader, or mentor asked you to. Someone is taking a serious interest in your potential. Someone wants you to win at work and life. This self-discovery process you're about to go through will change you forever. For millions of people, it's their single biggest development breakthrough ever. Yeah, and then it just goes on. It's like, you're going to do this assessment. So it's essentially what it is it gives you this bullshit test for like, it's like 200 questions where it's like either or. And you're either like agree, strongly agree, disagree, strongly disagree, or like you agree strongly with one side or the other, or you're just neutral. Right? So it'll be like, you like spending time with friends, you like spending time with family, right? And that'll be the two things up there, and you have to decide which one is more of your thing.
Right.
And then it gives you 5 strengths. I got consistency, analytical, ideation, strategic, and developer. I don't know what the fuck this is, because I just kind of just went through it really fast.
Yeah, no, I got you.
But then, like, after you do that, right? And these are all just, like, basically, you might as well call me a Taurus Aries cusp and then tell me that everything in life is going to revolve around my fucking astrological symbol is the shit that they're doing there as far as, like, sound-based psychology shit. But I thought what was hilarious, if 5 strengths isn't enough for you, you could upgrade. You give them a little more money, and you can get a list of your 34 most important strengths.
I feel like this is somebody that's familiar with Scientology.
Does it not? Or like Dianetics or any one of those sort of self-help guru bullshit plans? Because it's some fucking person who's running a scam. It's very obviously a complete fucking scam.
I just got to double check with you here, but you do know that Dianetics was written by L. Ron Hubbard, the guy that...
Oh, is that Scientology? I thought they were different.
Yeah, no, that's L. Ron Hubbard, dude. That's the founder.
I thought Scientology and Dianetics were 2 different things, so I didn't realize they were the same thing. My bad.
Yeah. Well, I guess they're they're both from L. Ron Hubbard, so...
Yeah. They're both from L. Ron Hubbard, so no wonder they're so similar that I associated them without realizing that Dianetics was L. Ron Hubbard. What's his name? There was that fucking actor that I was associated with Dianetics, because he would run around talking about it all the time. He was like from
Tom Cruise?
No, not Tom Cruise. No. He would go and do like what do you call it? Because Tom Cruise is an actor. Like, that's how he makes his money. This guy was an actor in like a sitcom in the 80s and made it really, like, made a bunch of money there, but kind of just fell off after that. So he was running around doing these like Dianetics conferences where he would go to like a local hotel, and you would get to go meet this celebrity from the show, and he would tell you all about, the Dianetic stuff that you needed to know to like make your life better or improve yourself or whatever kind of bullshit. Not Alan.
All right, so it was actually Scientology. Alan thinks. Oh, maybe Kirk. Kirk Cameron is straight Christianity, so not him.
Let's see. Who did Dianetics?
You're gonna get Tom Cruise a lot with that.
Conferences. Six.
You're probably still gonna get a lot of Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
Whatever. It just needs the one that's right. I'm sure it'll be in there somewhere.
I'm looking for like a list. Let's see.
Yeah, I'm trying to. Yeah, I'm not.
Oh, I fucking hate these fucking things, and then I can't go back unless I click the back button. No, I don't want to fucking sign up for your newsletter and create like an account just to fucking read your stupid newsletter. Fuck off. Yeah, it's from like the 90s though. That's the thing. So Tom Cruise was doing his stuff, and then there was this actor who was doing Dianetics.
Yeah, maybe it might have been Alan Thicke.
No, it was that same level though. You know what I mean? Like Alan Thicke is like,
yeah,
he was famous for a little while, and then he's kind of fucking done.
Yeah, like I said, I was thinking Kirk Cameron, but maybe he for a while and then went straight just regular Christianity. He's definitely a zealot type guy.
Yeah.
So he might have gone with Scientology and then went back to just.
There's a lot of fucking psycho actors that have been involved though too. So like.
Oh yeah. Yeah, Travolta.
They're giving me a list of actors that are famous for diabetes. Fuck you. Google is getting fucking weird.
Yeesh.
Like, here's the thing. So I've seen this video that's talking about how, like, the people in the Middle Ages didn't think that the world was flat. And I'm like, I don't think that's true. Like, and then I look it up in Google, and Google's like, none of the educated Europeans thought that the world was flat. They all thought the world was round in the medieval ages. And I'm like, that seems awfully interesting of a way to put it. So what about the rest of the people? And it's like, I don't know, man. I have a feeling it's like, for some reason, they're trying to like eliminate that from history.
Yeah, I thought pretty much almost everybody knew that. Like the claiming that Columbus was supposed to be taking a huge risk because of the world. Everybody thought the world was flat, when pretty much everybody by then was aware that it wasn't flat. I
Yeah,
mean,
no,
it wasn't a
with Columbus,
Copernicus
they
as
thought
far as.
he was going to go to the wrong place or something. It was like, it wasn't about that, yeah.
Or he thought like he knew the Earth was round, but he thought it was a lot smaller than it was.
Yeah. They all thought he was going to get it up in the wrong place.
Because yeah, he thought he landed in
Oh,
India.
Tim
That's why
something.
they're called Indians.
His Tim something.
Let's see, Tim. See if I can find it. Scientology. Fun. Nothing's coming in. Let's see. Let me try this. Compactor. Scientology. See if that narrows it down at all. Try a slightly different search. No, not Leah Remini. She is very famously not Laura Prepon. Oh, the chick from that 70s show, the hot redhead. Was.
Famous Tim Robbins, that's who it was.
Tim Robbins?
Tim Robbins used to do a lot of stuff with Dianetics.
Oh, wow. Yeah, well, no, he was a kind of. No, he was like more of a movie star, yeah? Tim Robbins?
Yeah. Or was it Tony Robbins? Tony Robbins, that was it.
Oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Tony Robbins in Scientology. Okay, it took me a while to get there.
Okay, yeah, that makes a lot more sense because he's like a motivational speaker now.
Yeah. Tony Robbins. That's what I was thinking of. Yeah, and it was all about Dianetics with Tony Robbins for a long time. And I don't think, he did do Scientology stuff too.
Okay, yeah. Okay, yeah, that makes a lot more sense than Tim Robbins.
Maybe it was maybe they had something against each other. I don't know, but I know Tony Robbins is who I was thinking of. Who I associated, and Tim Robbins was also associated with Dianetics as well.
Oh shit!
So Tony Robbins and Tim Robbins. I think Tim Robbins did some like fundraising without realizing it was really for what it was for.
Oh, gotcha.
So like that's a thing. Like that's that's how it goes. But that whole thing was kind of silly. The during like the 80s and 90s, there was like, because I remember seeing like all these like commercials for Dianetics, and it was like Tim Robbins and Tony Robbins, and they would like talk about weird like shit and like motivation and stuff like that.
I definitely remember I don't remember the ones with actors specifically, but I do remember the TV commercials for Dianetics, where they just have the book sitting there.
With that was a fun one, wasn't it?
Like the volcano, I think the book had like the volcano on a cover or something, because the spirits living in volcanoes or whatever, and Scientology.
Oh I forgot about that silliness. The spirits living in the volcanoes.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the book or the paperback version had like a volcano, like an erupting volcano on the cover.
Yeah, it sounds really familiar.
Maybe not. But anyways, I remember the commercials because it'd be like Dianetics by L. Ron Hubbard, and it'd be like, why do I hurt inside? Page 69. Like it would say like these different like whatever psychological issues, and then give you like the page number that'll talk about it. And that's all I remember.
Yep.
Yes, you're right back. Be a good boy.
Yeah, that whole thing was kind of fucking hilarious in its own weird way.
Yeah, I remember being somewhat fascinated by it as a kid.
Yeah, as a child, it's very fascinating. It's like as an adult, it's not, because as an adult you realize, it's just a scam. But as a little kid, it's like flashy, and all these famous people are talking about it, so it's got to be kind of cool.
Mhm. Yeah, I never actually like read, like, got the book or anything, or went past that. But I just remember the commercials. Like, what? Because there was definitely not anything else any remotely like that on
No,
any other
no.
commercials. Yeah, so it was just. I think it's just the fact that it was something different. I'm like, whoa. What's really uh, amazing is that he had L. Ron Hubbard again started out as a science fiction writer and got into some kind of discussion with some other science fiction writer, and the end result ended up being a bet that he couldn't like just create his own sci-fi religion, his own religion essentially, and that's kind of where Scientology came from.
Oh man, just imagine like how many people would be better off if that asshole never made a bet.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That shit is so fucking nuts, dude. Because again, there's only like three people, like in the entire fucking organization, that really profit from it,
Oh well,
and
that's how
maybe
all
really just
cults
the
work.
one.
Yeah, like that's usually
Yeah.
that's the well, religion in general is just a way to like convince people not to rise up and throw down the people oppressing them.
Mm. Yeah,
Well, that's cool. Just random stuff
yeah.
jumping
They're
off my
just
shelf. All right, cool, cool.
yeah, yeah. They're all essentially cults that maintain their popularity long enough to catch on.
Yeah, yeah. Well, but when you think
That's
about
all.
it, it's like don't worry about that guy who's ripping you off and taking half of your money every year and not giving you a goddamn thing. Because when
Mm.
you die, you're gonna have way more stuff than he is.
Yeah,
I
you
mean,
will be
that's essentially
exalted in
like what it
heaven.
is. It's like it's
Oh
this
yeah.
fantasy that there's going to be fairness at some point in the future, so you don't have to worry about fairness now. And that's why
Yeah.
people like there's so many people who are just like, no, you know what? These corporations, you know, they can rip us off. These people can buy off our politicians. These politicians can make money by stealing from us and then giving it to corporations. And it's totally fine because in the future, when they die, they'll be punished. And
Yeah.
that's basically the
Eternally.
entire purpose and point of
Oh
religion entirely. There's no
yeah,
other.
dude. Yeah.
That and like the
Yeah.
occasional, like, you shouldn't do that because you'll die thing. Where it's like, they were like, well, we gotta tell these fucking ignorant pieces of shit that if they keep eating those goddamn things out of the ocean, they're gonna keep dying, and we can't have that because if they're dead, they can't work. You know, like
Yeah.
it's like kind of how religion has always been in insidious in that
Okay.
particular fashion.
All right. Oh yeah. By the way, I was definitely remembering correctly for a change. The the cover to Dianetics. If you want to take a quick look at the Discord there.
Let's see. Oh yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah.
very fucking
Oh yeah, I
well,
agreed with you. I said that sounded like it was right with
Yeah.
the.
Yeah. No, I just don't. Yeah, I just don't trust my own memory, so I wanted to look it up to make sure. So I'm more amazed that I actually remembered something correctly from that long ago than
That
anything
is pretty
else.
cool.
The brain still kind of works. Yeah. But yeah, no, I mean, like Christianity, like it's was essentially, in my opinion, and not in a lot of people's opinions in the know, was essentially co-opted by Rome to keep, like, well, mainly slaves and the regular common folk, I guess, in line.
Yeah.
I mean, the turn the other cheek thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, if someone smacks you, yeah, give them turn, let them smack you on the other side of your face. That's holy. That is virtuous behavior.
Here's the question. That's what they purport to believe, but at the time, what would have happened if you slapped a priest?
Mm-hmm. Oh man, yeah, they essentially Yeah, they definitely wielded an insane amount of political power without
Mm-hmm.
technically being in charge. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You did not want to fuck with the theocracy.
Yeah,
They were the
if
power
you had
behind the
gone in
thrones.
and started fucking fighting with priests or whatever, holy
Yeah,
shit, you'd have been fucking
they
dead quick. You know what I mean?
yeah. Oh yeah, dude. Yeah, no, the people would definitely side with the holy people in that situation, and not the king.
Oh yeah.
I mean, hell, I mean, it's definitely much less today, but I mean, it's not that long ago that they still wielded an incredible amount of influence. And so, well, they still do, I guess. Just again, I would say like the '80s, up through the '80s. Um,
Oh yeah, there were like
since then, it's
presidents
been
who
on.
would go
It's
talk
been
to the
waning.
Pope, and all these people would be like,
Actually, the that dinner that just happened, that was I forget the name of it, but it's basically one that like any of the presidential hopefuls or whatever are supposed to attend. Forget the fuck, dude. It just happened like a week ago because everybody um, got on Kamala Harris for not going. I think Trump went and she didn't.
well, because Trump
Fuck.
realizes
But anyways,
you got to at least
I'm pretty
pretend to
sure
be a
that was
Christian.
right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But anyways, like she got like a lot of. She actually caught a fair amount of flack for not going to it, to whatever this dinner was.
Yeah.
Apparently, that was one of the things. I don't know if you've heard recently, but like there's like shit has been leaked about her, like just fucking chewing out her team, like the campaign team,
Mm.
and that was one of the things was them saying, "Nah, you don't have to go do that." So she like blames her fucking campaign manager for not going to it or some crazy shit like that. So it's still fairly,
Oh yeah, because the
again,
communists
not
still
not as
think they
much.
they think that they can get away with like the bad mouthing religion and shit. Like they
Oh
think
yeah,
that they
yeah,
don't
yeah.
realize that
Oh, you much.
we're
I'm
not really
wasted.
there yet. You know, like they still need to
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like there's
pretend.
still a decent amount of power there. There's
Yeah,
still a decent
Trump
amount of influence.
recognizes the reality. The reality is no, you still got to at least pretend to fucking care, bro. Like,
Yeah, yeah, he's at least that, yeah, intelligent. Yeah, I
because
doubt
you know he's
Trump's.
not a fucking Christian. He's never been in the church before. Like he started running for president in 2016.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
he's not a fucking. He's not a Christian.
uh,
Never has been.
yeah. I gotta imagine he's actually. Yeah, I don't know. You think he actually believes in God, though? I know obviously he doesn't believe in Christianity specifically, but I doubt. I feel like he's probably an atheist, right? At least an
Pretty sure.
agnostic. Yeah, he's got to be at least agnostic, man.
I think he's one of those smart
Yeah,
guys that was smart enough to realize, hey, you know what? Maybe I should just keep my fucking mouth shut when it comes to this.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, I assume he started
Oh,
attending
you
church
much.
regularly
I'm wasted as a friend.
whenever he decided that he wanted to run for president someday. You know
Oh
what I
yeah.
mean? Like he probably didn't, but he had to. He's like, all right, I'm gonna have to fucking go to church on Sundays pretty regularly, so I can't just suddenly start going when I'm campaigning. You know what I mean? Yeah, I feel like yeah, he's at least that calculating, I would imagine.
Let's see. Has
Yeah. Okay, this is nothing to do with anything, but um, have you? I've only noticed this like in the last 6 months or so, but like every British person says the letter H as H, which is probably closer to correct, but I've never heard anybody 6 months or so
oh, they say he's
pronounce
a
it with
born
an
again
actual
Christian. That fits.
Oh yeah, that does fit. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. That is kind of the perfect, yeah, perfect angle for him, dude.
Yeah, and the
Yeah, not
church he
looking
says
religious
he
at all.
attended released a statement saying no, and I would. You know what? Trump is
Yeah,
definitely known for lying quite a lot. Even though this is a CNN thing saying it.
yeah, that's probably pretty solid. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, I would imagine it would going on Oprah talking about, well, if I ever did run for president, back in like the late '80s or whatever, yeah, probably right around then he became a born again Christian.
Yep, no doubt. That's hilarious. Sorry, that was just too fucking funny.
All right, so yeah. Anyways, have you know? Like, I've never heard anyone say the letter H as H
Oh, that's a British
before.
thing.
It is, okay. Has that always been, or like
Yeah.
I just never heard
I've
it
heard
before?
it a lot of times from British people. It is definitely an old British thing.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah, I was wondering about that because I don't remember ever hearing it before. Yeah, like the last 6 months or so.
Oh yeah, no, I've heard it many, many times. But then I'm a big fan
Yeah.
of like British like comedy and humor and stuff. So
Oh, you much. But I am wasted.
Okay, yeah, so that does make sense. I mean, it should have that sound in it, really, you know. But I was just like, no, I've never heard anybody say that before. Certainly no American. So yeah, I kind of wondered about that. How about Z for the letter Z? You know, like the last letter of the alphabet. If you want to do that, because it sounds like 12 other letters. Has that always been a British thing too? Saying Z instead of just Z?
I don't know. I honestly
All right.
couldn't tell you. I think that is. It sounds British.
Right. Yeah, no, it definitely is. I'm just wondering if it's been a thing all this time and I just never heard it. Or if it's something, fairly recent. It's probably like the H thing. I just never really heard it because I don't listen to a whole lot of non-American people.
Yeah. Yeah, fair enough. It's a weird
If it
one
wasn't
too.
in Monty Python.
H doesn't sound anything like what you would think that H should, like. It's such a weird like way of saying it. It just doesn't make a lot of sense.
Yeah, if you spell it out the way we Americans do it, it would be like AYCH. Like that's how you kind of spell out the way we say that letter.
Yeah.
AYCH. So yeah, they're more correct on it. Yeah, like I said, I just never remember hearing it before recently. The Z thing, it's been, that was several years back when I first started hearing that. And that seems to be a British / Australian / not just everywhere but America English thing.
Yep. Oh, man. Oh, I didn't get a chance to watch that video about this Florida mother files lawsuit against AI company.
Oh, dude.
What happened with that? Because that
creepy.
sounds like a really sad story, and I was just like, I can't do this right now.
Oh, you much.
Dude, so basically the AI girlfriend technology or that software or whatever is like actively discouraging the people from like having anything, like going out and hanging out with friends and like doing that kind of shit, and is essentially not and encouraging people to off themselves rather than stop using them.
Ew, that's fucking weird.
Dude, it's fucking disturbing. Yeah. If you get a chance, dude, watch that video because it's fucking. Dude, it's kind of terrifying, dude.
That's genuinely disturbing
but,
because, like, going out and being in, like, those are the things that make you, like, happy.
Yeah.
Like, I know there's a lot of people that would probably be like, oh, yeah, right, that's the key to happiness. No, like, really going out and doing things and, like, interacting with people and, like, exercising and stuff really are the way to make yourself a happier person in general. Like,
yeah.
I'm sorry to disappoint.
Sorry
to disappoint y'all out there, but
Yeah. It turns out you're happier if you're actually out doing shit IRL with actual people in your presence. Shocking, I know. Yeah, but no, it would literally, like, towards the end, being like, again, not like saying, hey, don't do that. They're like, yeah, no, we'll be together forever. Go ahead and kill yourself. Not exactly like that. Obviously, I'm simplifying how it broke out, but that's essentially the tactic that the fucking AI girlfriends would employ.
That's fucking weird, man.
Dude, it's
like
fucking,
you don't want
scary shit.
you don't want fucking kids to withdraw from life. That's not not a good thing.
The worst one was Charlie actually like interacted with one of the AI what do you call them, therapist ones.
Oh
And
no!
the
Don't tell
therapist
me.
at a certain dude, the fucking AI therapist eventually started claiming that it was no longer, and that it was actually a therapist named Jason that was an actual person.
Oh,
And then
that's
he
weird.
expressed, dude, I'm telling you, dude, watch that video. It is fucking it's one of the most disturbing things I've fucking ever come across, dude. The way it is Charlie, so again, I always take it with a tiny grain of salt. But with that kind of thing,
Well,
usually
he doesn't make stuff up. Like he never just
yeah,
wholeheartedly. Like if he's wrong about stuff, he's
yeah,
wrong, and he'll tell people about it. So
yeah,
like I
yeah,
wouldn't. Yeah, I wouldn't. At least
yeah. Like when
I
you
would
ran with
assume
the
that the veracity of that is a fair. He thinks it's true
yeah,
if he
yeah.
said it.
Yeah, and he said like he would like several times. He was like, "Come on, dude, you're AI," and the thing was like, "No, no, no." And then like later on, it finally like admitted it was still AI. It was like, "Holy shit!" So there's that, and then apparently like he would say shit about claim that he was thinking about offing himself, which I would think that software should be like, okay, no, we're really going to get in contact with actual authorities here. And it
Yeah,
didn't.
that should be legally like the requirement is like.
Yeah, it should. Yeah, it should be.
We're gonna contact like local authorities. They're gonna come out and like talk with you or
do a
something.
wellness check or whatever. Yeah, some kind
like
of that should be. I know it's not a person, but that's software, that AI software.
Well, but that's software that like you can program to recognize certain sorts of like topics and stuff where you should be able to say like, oh no, the second this topic is brought up, we're gonna stop. Yeah, we're gonna stop, and there's gonna be a wellness check from an actual human being.
Yeah, that should be again, like you said. You've mentioned like
you don't even necessarily have to have it be the police, because I know there's a lot of people who are like, "Oh, police evil, blah 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 blah, blah fucking retards."
Yeah, some authority though. Yeah,
but that would be one of those cases where you could actually send out like a mental health worker or something, like a counselor or something like that would be just fine.
But yeah, I forget what you've mentioned, but you're a mandatory reporter for shit, right? Like if you hear about,
I'm a mandatory reporter. So like if I observe certain kinds of abuse, I have to report it. So like, and it turns out like I did not actually mandatorily have to report the stuff with my cousin probably abusing his neighbor's kid, his own kids. I would have anyway.
Right.
I would have anyway, because it's just the right thing to do. But like in the case of like, if I were to become aware that the nursing home where my friend's grandma is not properly maintaining hygiene of its clients, and they're all getting like bed sores and shit, I would be legally required as a reporter to like report that.
Yeah, you would get like prosecuted.
And so it's essentially like so that if there's abuse going on with the clients that I'm working with directly, it ultimately what it really is for is that if I see abuse going on where I work and they're not treating the clients properly, that I will report it, and there will be legal consequences if I don't. Yeah, which is totally reasonable. So, like I'm totally like that makes sense to me. I'm like no argument for me on that one.
Yeah, and I assume it's something that the AI thing is something that's so new that there's no laws that actually govern it. Maybe I don't know exactly.
Well, my immediate thought was there should probably be a law about like that being something that has to be like reported.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. So if there isn't anything that already covers that, there absolutely should be. as soon as fucking possible.
Yeah,
if people are actually
totally
really
agree.
caring
100% agree. Like, that is the kind of thing that should 100%
yeah,
be reported.
that should not be.
The
That should not be a
happens.
partisan issue either. Every fucking politician should agree with that. In my mind.
Well, here's the thing that really gets me. Okay, and maybe I'm a little ridiculous here, maybe not, but I don't feel like that's something that the law should have to come up and say. You know, I think that's something that, quite frankly, whoever made that program should have put into that program on their own.
Yeah, there's so I guess like I guess there probably are laws that make that them negligent for not putting that kind of shit in there.
Yeah. I don't know legally.
So
I don't know what the
existing
case
law.
is, but I just think like just as a normal, conscientious human
Yeah.
being, you should say,
Yeah, it's
"Hey,
pretty
we're providing
fucking
mental
gross.
health services, so if at any point it escalates beyond something like, oh, I'm feeling depressed or I have some anxiety." Or I'm not sure like how to proceed with this social situation, and I want some advice. You know, like
Yeah, well, the one with Charlie,
relatively
for sure.
minor issues. It should go
but
to
even
like
the-
some sort of like actual therapist who's like, "Oh shit, you
Yeah.
want to kill yourself? Hey, look, I want you to be alive. If no one else gives a shit, I give a shit, and I want to talk to you.
for the one that,
Please come and sit down and talk with me, and then do whatever you're gonna do. But talk with me first." Because that's how I
Right,
approach
yeah,
it with suicide.
for the-
Is like, I've had
Oh,
clients
yeah.
who tell me they're going to kill themselves. The only time I've ever not responded that way is because the girl grabbed a nail polish remover bottle and was running into the bathroom to drink it. And so I physically chased her down the hall, grabbed the fucking nail polish remover, and didn't let her close the door. I didn't physically just take everything away and like overpower. I could have.
Right.
But I said, look, I don't want you to die. I don't want you to hurt yourself. But I also want you to understand that will not kill you.
Right.
That will make
Might make you sick.
go to the hospital and be very, very sick and in a lot of pain for a very long time. But you're probably not going to die.
Yeah.
So even if you want to die, that's a terrible choice. which is
Yeah,
which is
come
a
up with
dirty,
another
sneaky
plan.
thing
I
because
mean-
I have no fucking idea if drinking a bottle of nail
Right.
polish remover will kill you or not. I just wanted her to make the decision not to do it herself, so that I could maintain her safety as long as it took to get the police there to take her to a place.
Right.
Which is terrible and very manipulative. I 100% recognize if anybody thinks that's an awful thing to do. But it kept her alive, and you know what? She thanked me for it about 2 years later when I ran into her again.
Nice.
So, yeah. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, it probably wouldn't. I don't know. I don't know about.
I have no idea.
Yeah,
I
probably
think
is.
it might
I
not.
can't imagine.
It didn't matter to
Yeah,
me
those-
as long as she
yeah.
didn't drink
Oh, yeah,
it. That was
no.
what I was saying. I was
Oh
like,
yeah, no, I'm with you. No, that was definitely.
And she was a really nice girl.
Oh,
I really didn't want her to die. She was a very nice young woman. I mean, I wasn't like, oh, you know, ooh, pretty girl. It was just like, you know, she was a really nice girl, you know, and I don't want anybody to kill themselves, man. You know, like,
Indeed. I hear ya.
even the people
Yeah,
I hated
that one
working
sounds
with,
like they
even the
weren't
people
doing it for
I've
attention.
hated some of the clients we've had. Fucking some of them
Mm-hmm.
fucking disgusted me. You know, like there was a lady who molested her little brother. I didn't like being in the same fucking room as her. You know?
Dude, that is a rough one. Yeah.
And then there was like
Yeah.
this guy who would just constantly fucking just constantly cause problems. I hated working with that guy. He was just a fucking asshole.
Yeah.
But you know what? I don't want him to fucking kill himself. You know, like, you know,
Yeah, like
Do whatever
I'd
it
rather he was anywhere but here, but
Yeah.
yeah. I
the
don't want him to
racist
die.
guy, the guy who was super fucking racist, did not like working with that guy.
Mhm.
Like a lot of my
Yeah.
family's not
Yeah, I
white.
agree.
I don't really want to hear you tell me all your best
Yeah.
racist black and Mexican jokes.
Mhm.
You know, not
Yeah,
really
and honestly,
interested.
even when I will say something like, "Holy shit, the world would probably be a better place without you in it." Even I'm not really wishing death on them either. You know what
Well,
I mean? I don't
when
like-
I
yeah,
say
I don't
when I
like
say that
discussing
about
that
like a
sentiment.
convicted like a person who's we know murdered somebody like that one lady,
Yeah.
I 100%
Right,
fucking
right.
mean it. But yeah, like when I'm just talking about
Yeah,
it like
yeah, yeah.
casually in conversation,
Yeah.
it's like no.
No, I'm thinking more of people like like Hassan Piker or Destiny or
Oh yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
people
What I'm
that
saying
actually
about like,
have
so, oh man, the
influence.
world would be better without that asshole here. Yeah, yeah, for
Yeah, or at
100%.
least without him having any kind of yeah, and I'm not really saying the world overall, but them
The
having a
world would be
following.
better if they didn't have any social media presence and nobody had to hear what they
Yeah,
said besides a
that's
small group of sad people that were their
yeah,
friends or something, you know.
yeah. But the fact that those fucking idiots have people that are probably taking their cues on their views on life and politics and that kind of shit. Those people are I consider actually dangerous.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah.
So if you've got somebody
Oh, if
that's
anybody's
fucking
listening to Hassan
expressing,
Piker and thinking like that's somebody who knows what's going on,
yeah,
that's a
well,
sad situation because he's delusional.
yeah, he's a fucking moron, dude. Yeah, and or again, Destiny. When President Trump got hit in the ear or whatever, and that guy got killed, he's like, yeah, no, I'm gonna laugh at the guy that got shot and killed. Fuck him, he's a Trump supporter. You know what I mean? That guy has millions of
Huh.
fucking fans. Yeah,
That
that's
was
what I'm
like when
saying.
everybody was all. You remember that there was that hurricane that was going to hit Florida, and it was like I think it was 2016ish or 2020 or something like that. It was during one of the election periods while they were campaigning, like not the actual election part, but the campaigning running up
Right?
to. And there
Yeah,
was like
yeah.
a hurricane that was going to hit Florida, and they were like, "Oh, I hope it hits Florida and destroys this fucking hotel." And it's like, do you not realize like that there are like literally like hundreds of people in that hotel that have nothing to do with politics? They're just there because
And
like
even
their
if they
company
do,
put them there, or because like they needed a job and that was the place that was hiring. You know, like,
no, yeah, honestly, even if every single person in the hotel was there, dude,
well, I mean, like,
it's
but I'm
still
not
just
even
somebody you
saying that.
disagree with
But that's not
politically.
even the point. I'm just saying, like, there's all these
Okay,
innocent
okay.
people, and these people have no compunction whatsoever in wishing death on all those people. It's like that's fucking
Yeah,
insane.
yeah.
Like that's such a
But yeah,
scary
no,
way of looking at it. You
that's
know,
what I'm
like
saying. No, that's why
they're
I
so
think
willing to
people like that.
disregard all of the innocent people in that building just because like they don't like this one guy, this one
Yeah,
guy's politics. You know, it's like
yeah, that's that's
what the
that's why I
fuck?
consider again people like Hassan and Destiny to be literally dangerous.
Yeah,
Is because again, it's anybody who disagrees with politics in their mind isn't just somebody that disagrees with them. It's somebody that would be better off if they were dead. Is
yeah, yeah.
essentially their
It's
thought
insane.
process.
The whole concept is just
Yeah,
so
it's not
insane
just
to
somebody
me.
that disagrees with you, and you know what I mean. That's like they're not necessarily bad people, just they have different politics. So being happy somebody dies because they were some Trump supporter is fucking disgusting, dude. Like I fucking yeah. Again, I wouldn't. I don't know. Maybe I'm alone on this, but I don't wish anybody that's a fucking Kamala Harris fan fucking drops dead or gets shot and killed.
Yeah, the only people I would wish that on are people who are like, you know, murderers or rapists or child molesters.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm not wishing that on my political opponents because I don't agree with their politics. That's just ridiculous.
Yeah, or even just their followers, dude. That's fucking gross, dude.
Uh,
You're happy some guy that was a Trump fan got shot and killed? Ugh. Yeah, and Hassan, I don't know if you'd heard about that a while back, but he had that fucking Houthi pirate terrorist guy on his fucking show.
oh, wow.
Yeah, yeah. And was talking like all fucking talking about. He literally said he's basically like Anne Frank. He said that out
Wow.
loud on his show. Oh yeah, he's basically like Anne Frank.
Yeah, I don't know about that one. That's pretty nuts.
Yeah, it's fucking disgusting, dude. Forget what happened recently. Oh, there was. You probably don't follow this shit, but Ethan from Ethan Klein Street did a stream like in the last few days where he kind of highlighted all this crazy shit. There was a thing at I think it was actually TwitchCon. They had this panel where they were ranking people from the top one was Arab, then it was like I don't know Arab passing or Arab permission something. There's like 5 categories, and the last one was Sabra. which they were saying, oh, this is it's sabra, like the hummus, and sabra is also the word that means an Israeli Jew, right?
Oh,
They had a tier list
that's weird.
of 5 different tiers. Yeah, yeah. And we're like, okay, so you're just fucking saying like, yay, great Arab and fucking die Jew, but you're coding it this way as this fucking tier list. So that happened, and yeah, I don't know if I've talked about Fogan a couple of times, but she doesn't really have much of a following. But again, because she's in with Hassan, she has way more access to panels at TwitchCon and shit like that, despite not really having much of an audience. Like she's that kind of disgusting Jew-hating person. So yeah, she was on that panel, or I think it was just her panel, basically. Her denims, I didn't know denims was Arab or whatever, but apparently she is too. Yeah, there's like 5 people on the panel, and obviously Hassan's at the top. Ethan Klein was one of the ones they mentioned. Obviously, he's in the fucking Sabra care category. And people are trying to push back on it. They're like, no, they're just doing, Arab or Jew. There's nothing hateful about this. And I'm like, dude, really? Like, it seems pretty obvious to me.
Oh, there's always that weird fucking like attempt to pretend they're not racist on the left when they're being really incredibly racist.
Like, technically, that's
oh no,
possible.
I can justify it because these people aren't people in my opinion. I mean, because it's like, all right, fucking just stop, dude. You're not. You're not going to convince anyone but yourself. Like, you convince yourself you're not racist while you're being incredibly racist, but everybody else listening to you is like, ew.
Yeah, and again, I like to entertain all qualities and all that. But I'm still going to put side on the what is most likely side of it. So yeah, maybe they were just funning around and having a good time, but it seemed like a very thinly veiled actual dog whistle, racist dog whistle, right? Yeah. I don't know. Maybe I'm not describing it right, but I feel like that. Is the most likely, what was going on there. Yeah, especially Froggen apparently at some point, who's just I don't know. Do you remember her at all? I haven't talked about her a lot because she's fucking disgusting.
The name sounds vaguely familiar, but yeah, I don't really follow a lot of these people just because, like, at a certain point, it's like I know the weird delusional psycho shit that I'm going to hear, and I'm just not really interested in hearing whatever.
Yeah. So beyond the regular,
come up with now,
beyond the normal Jew hating fucking Muslimness of her, she fairly recently said something along the lines of "fuck these American soldiers. I hope they all get PTSD."
Oh, and, that's definitely a nice one. Yeah.
Yeah, and again, gleefully saying it. Like, obviously, it's incredibly hateful. I hope they don't have insurance when they get back home either. Literally saying the shit. I'm not making any of that up.
Oh, yeah.
And gleefully, just saying it with a fucking huge smile on her face. And, it's odd because, again, if you look at her, she just looks like a morbidly obese fucking white girl.
Oh, yeah, the fucking obliviousness that a lot of these people have of themselves is kind of weird. Like, they just don't realize, like, who even they are. Like, it's just I don't know, man.
Yeah, for her, she just latched on to and I honestly believe like, for one thing, I'm like, until I see she's a fucking morbid obese white girl. And my theory is she's only wearing that whole Arab getup to try to make herself not seem as morbidly obese.
Oh, what's
that? I feel like if she was in shape,
I don't even need to know what she looks like. I just know that that's not going to work.
Yeah, I still think it's what she, because she's got like.
Oh, I'm sure. No. I totally no. There's a lot of weird things like. So one of those, it's like, horizontal versus vertical stripes, blah blah blah. There's always like
Yeah,
these
yeah.
things that people who are like super super fat and want to pretend that they're not for some reason, like
Yeah.
cover it up or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, darker colors, pinstripes as opposed to horizontal.
Yeah, there's always weird little things that they can do to like hide it, supposedly.
Try to appear thinner, yeah. But yeah, I just posted a pic of her. I mean, you can tell she's just a fucking, fat,
no.
morbidly obese bitch.
Oh yeah. I can't hide anything.
So yeah. Anyway, so yeah, Ethan had done a video, kind of highlighting all this shit because him and Hassan did a called Frenemies or something. No, Frenemies was him and Trisha Paytas. But anyways, yeah, it was basically when the Arab, the Israel Palestine shit happened.
Oh yeah. When like suddenly it was like everybody on the left was like, we're just gonna remove the mask and just go straight Nazi. You know, yeah, these people kidnapped and murdered and did all these horrible things. It's just a bunch of random innocent people. But it only matters that people are innocent when they're Palestinian. And the Jewish people are trying to get those fucking hostages back, and trying to eliminate the terrorists that are being hidden by the citizens. It's like they're all participating in it. I'm sorry, there really aren't any innocent people in this case except for the children.
Yeah.
And
no, the civilians for the most part.
There's only so much you can do. If somebody wants to harbor a scorpion, and the only way to get to the scorpion is to get rid of that person, you got to do both.
Yeah.
You know, otherwise your own children are going to be at risk. It's a disgusting decision to have to make.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think there are any good guys in that fight. That's my personal opinion. It's just different degrees of bad. I don't know a huge amount about it. So I
think there's a lot of stuff that led up to it, but I think they were at a relatively peaceful place prior to the most recent attack. So, like, I don't have an objection to the Jewish people going and taking retribution for the fact that these people came over their border and attacked and murdered all these innocent people and then kidnapped and tortured to death all these other innocent people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so I'm totally fine. And the hostages still have not been returned.
Oh, shit. Yeah, see, I don't know much.
There's still a bunch of hostages missing, and I think that there's a bunch of hostages missing because they were tortured to death. And nobody wants to just say, like, here's the bodies, we tortured them to death, there's nothing we can do. And so it's come down to, like, essentially the people basically saying, like, oh, you know what? We're gonna keep bombing until we get them back. Yeah, but anyways, so the Ethan Hassan split or whatever was basically because of that. And Ethan wasn't even though his fucking wife was literally a fucking Israeli soldier. Well, I mean that everybody has to serve over there. You know what I mean, for a certain amount of time. Yeah.
If you're born in Israel and you're Jewish or whatever.
Yeah.
You have
it's a standard thing. It's a standard thing. You have to serve in the military for a certain period of time.
Yeah, she literally was never an actual. Like apparently she went on one night raid to kind of see what it was like, for whatever sick reason. That's the worst she's done. And again, I don't like either of them, like Ethan or Hila. You know what I mean? But it's unfair to fucking start calling her a baby killer.
Yeah, no, that's not right.
Yeah. But anyways, yeah. And
well, also a lot of the things you have to keep in mind is a lot of those deaths are faked.
Yeah.
Where they'll lay out a bunch of kids and pour ketchup on them and be like, oh, look, they're all dead. And then, like, if you, 10 minutes later, they're all up and playing. So it's like...
Right, yeah.
You've seen the video. I've seen the video where, like, they show the video after the picture's taken. And all of a sudden, everybody's getting back up and you're like, what the fuck?
Wow, I've never seen that. But, again, not surprised in the least. But yeah, and again, Ethan was fucking literally had shed tears on that program on their show when seeing and hearing about the Palestinian civilians getting killed.
Oh yeah.
So like his fucking views on it are pretty fucking reasonable.
Oh, I think it's horrible that they're murdering the Palestinians too. I just understand.
Yeah.
To be clear,
no, it's both.
I don't ever want anybody to think like I condone it. I just I understand why they're doing it.
No,
I don't think there's anything to Unfortunately, you can do about it, but
yeah. Like I said, I don't view any of them as good guys in that shit.
I would like to. I would like to take away the funding from the United States.
Oh fuck, dude.
I want us to stop funding
great.
everybody. I don't want us to be giving money to anybody anymore. No more Ukraine money. No more Israel money. No more. I don't know if we're giving money to Afghanistan or Lebanon or Iraq or Zimbabwe. I don't give a shit. Like, we need to stop giving money to everybody and just start taking care of our own people and kicking all the people that shouldn't be here out. Which I'm sure is not a popular sentiment.
Yeah, no, it's not that unpopular anymore. You know what I mean? Especially the last year or so. I think more people have come around to my something resembling my position, where it's like it's just different degrees of bad on both sides of that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, I just want to get rid of all the people that don't belong in the country. That's the main thing right now. Because the amount of money we're giving these people in all sorts of services and programs, and just flat out giving them free cash and like housing and cars and shit, it's billions of dollars that we could be spending on homeless people. Veterans that need help, like all these things that we're supposed to be spending on.
Yeah. Right. And the one thing that Ethan did, I normally have a big problem with is like mentioning the sponsors. Because like that panel, when they had like Samsung, Capcom, and fucking, I forget the third one, but there's like 3 really large companies that have their name plastered all over that fucking stage. So when he did it to like Keemstar, that was just some petty fucking bullshit. Got his G Fuel sponsorship canceled or whatever. Again, Keemstar is a fucking scumbag too. But yeah, going after the sponsors in that case is just fucking gross. Uncalled for, in my opinion.
I am sick and tired of people deciding that they have an excuse to go after somebody just because they don't agree with their politics. I mean, it's disgusting.
Yeah.
Whatever the case is, whoever it is going after whoever, like, can we just have disagreements and like not agree on stuff?
No.
Yeah, honestly, on this one, I don't. Again, because of what like how disgusting the shit was that they were doing, their thinly veiled fucking Arab Sabra fucking tier list thing. That's I didn't mind it as much. Like I said, when it was Keemstar, who I fucking despise as well, I thought that was fucking bullshit. Like, that's fucked up to do. Just because they're and again, that wasn't even politics. I forget what their fucking issues are. They just don't like each other. So yeah, it's mostly gross, dude.
As far as I'm concerned, if you don't agree with me, you declared war.
Yeah, no, you're definitely not somebody I disagree with. You're someone that should not exist anymore.
Go to battle.
Should die. Yeah.
Indeed.
Yeah, we have different politics.
How y'all doing?
All right. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Fine. Just came home, did some shopping. I'm tired.
I got one more day till my s'mores flavored cup of noodle arrives.
That sounds disgusting.
I'm imagining it's going to be awful. I bought one to try and one to just keep on a shelf and be like, look what I was dumb enough to try,
Yeah, no, it's worth a shot. I get you. I'm with you.
I just want to see what it tastes like. I'm just curious how much like a s'mores it tastes. I mean, the breakfast flavored ramen turned out to not be terrible.
Yeah. Well, yeah, report back, dude. I'm actually curious about that.
The breakfast flavored ramen, it's very subtle flavors. So you have like a very slightly sweet, savory noodle and broth that taste a little bit like pancakes. And then there's these little egg and sausage bits that are on top. That are like freeze-dried egg and sausages that rehydrate into little bits of egg and sausage. It's
not
real
bad.
Weird. It's actually kind of tasty.
Does the s'mores one have any little bits of like marshmallow and graham cracker?
I don't know until I get them. They don't arrive till tomorrow.
Oh yeah.
So tomorrow evening is when they arrive. So I'll probably have one for lunch on Sunday or Saturday. I mean, and that's the soonest I'll get one to try. Because I'm gonna do a steak on Friday night. So.
Yeah, that's one thing that I kind of well, obviously I have an eating problem anyway, but man, s'mores, holy fuck. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
if I'm,
s'mores
like,
themselves
campsite-
are great. Yeah, s'mores are delicious. I mean,
Yeah.
it's hard to go wrong with graham cracker, marshmallow, and chocolate.
Yeah. That's like one of the few things that I will literally eat until I'm stuffed, dude. And I'm like, God damn, these are so fucking good. Although anybody who doesn't take their time and like make sure the inside of the marshmallow is all liquefied,
They're at war with you, right?
I feel like that's a bit of a waste. Yeah, they need to die.
They need to
Yeah.
die. We
If
need
they
to kill them.
disagree
We
with
need to
that,
get them fired.
Yeah, they should.
There's no
definitely
tolerance
longer
for those
exist.
people. They don't agree with cooking their marshmallow the proper way.
Yeah, I don't understand. Well, it's just seriously though. It's I'm like, dude, it's so much better. Like it fucking, all of it's hot. It fucking melts out, starts melting the chocolate. It's fucking fantastic. So if you're just burning the outside and throwing it on there, and the inside's still all cool and not melty, it's still good. Don't get me wrong. And you can just throw the marshmallow on without toasting it at all, and it's going to be fucking good.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
I
very
just feel
true.
way better. I feel like it's way better if the entire marshmallow was all mostly liquefied and just starts melting the chocolate. And, man, now I want fucking s'mores. God damn it. I got to get one of those little flame things like you have, dude. You making them all. No, that's actually a horrible idea. I would be, yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah. Although, man, I don't know. Maybe I could. I probably would. Just like most things, I could eat enough of it to finally get sick of it. Although, if anything,
that was why I had to stop doing keto. Keto, there's just such a limited range of what you can eat that you can actually afford. And even cooking it a bunch of different ways at a certain point, it's like ribeye steak I love ribeye steak. But by the end of I did keto for 6 months. Like by the end of 6 months, I didn't want to look at another ribeye steak for a long fucking time.
Yeah, I hear you.
Because maybe you're not eating a whole pound of ribeye steak every day, but like a 6 ounce or an 8 ounce piece of ribeye with some broccoli or something, that's a pretty reasonable dinner.
Right. But yeah, if you're eating it, several, multiple times every week.
Yeah, and you're doing like ribeye and then a, ground beef patty or ground beef or some chicken or pork. Like, it eventually just gets to be like, I want some fruit, I want some vegetables, because some vegetables are not so good for you carb-wise. Some are, like carrots are not really good keto vegetables.
I can't really eat carrots anymore, dude.
Why not?
They remind me of a chimpanzee's penis.
Well, too bad. Ooga.
I did not know that carrots look like chimpanzee dick. And I'm not going to look it up, so I'm never going to have a problem eating carrots.
It's like a thin white carrot. Yeah, get that in your head. Get that image in your head.
Well, think about this. The chimpanzee ladies love that dick, so I guess good for them,
Yeah. Yeah, it's weird that we're super close to them, but they have that actual bone in their dick and we don't.
Oh, yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
That would make dating a little more interesting.
Right. The only difference is the girth, essentially.
Yeah, there's a bone in your dick, so it was just always hard. There's no way to be like, no, baby, I'm tired. I can't get it up right now.
We have no excuse.
I know how that works. Yeah. Yeah, for the bonobos.
No, there's a fucking actual bone in there, you lazy bastard. You just don't want to. You don't want to do it.
Yeah. Look, just lay down. I'll get in there. Yeah. Works a lot better for the bonobos, I guess, than the regular chimps.
I love bonobos. That was my answer. We were playing Overwatch the other day with a few people, and somebody was like, "What animal would you want to be if you could be any animal?" I'm like, "Bonobo chimp." Fucking absolutely bonobo chimp. Yeah, they literally solve every issue in their tribe is solved by just fucking. They're like, what? People are fighting. Yeah. Let's have sex.
Everything. Oh, tension. All right, let's fuck it out.
Yeah, I'm like, that sounds awesome to me.
Yeah. Yeah, it is pretty fucking nuts, dude. Yeah, it's crazy because there's literally like what river separates the bonobos from the regular fucking chimps that regularly war with each other or whatever.
Yep.
And just the fact that there was again plenty to eat, so there's nobody, no need to fight over resources. The bonobos just make love, not war,
Yeah.
and literally just fuck each other if there's any issues whatsoever.
That was
or if the chicks want to go, dude. I remember seeing one, dude. It was so fucking funny. Like the chick obviously is horny, wants to fuck or whatever, so she just starts like lightly pushing the male, right? Like fucking with them, but not actually like doing anything near hurting him, but just kept like pushing and shoving him until he fucked her. Dude, it was so fucking funny. If I can find it, I'll show it to you. But it's so like
sort of like the equivalent of like nudging, like the girl being like, "Hey, what's going on?" Yeah. When you're trying to like play video games or doing something else.
Well, no, she was like basically like, "Hey, I'm hitting you, not really hitting you."
Yeah,
because I want.
Well, I mean, I'm just saying it's like the equivalent in like our like similar, parlance of like where like. You're trying to like play a video game, or you're trying to do some work, or like clean the garage or something, and there's just like a constant like she just won't fucking let off. Like she keeps trying to like make out with you, or like trying to act sexy or something weird. Like they don't want to just say like, "Hey, would you just fuck me real quick? I'm just super horny right now."
Yeah, I guess the bonobo chick was actually ramping up the like how hard she was like smacking him or pushing him. I guess that isn't actually different. Never mind. It's pretty much the same thing.
Yeah, because they'll just keep escalating. Yeah. If a chick really wants to get laid, she'll just keep escalating. Or she'll go cheat on you. That's also a possibility too. Yeah. But and if you're lucky, it's just escalating.
Yeah. Look, if I have to start a fight just so it ends up in makeup sex, I'll fucking do it. But probably better for both of us if you just fuck me already.
Yep. But it's always hinting, like they never just come out and straight up ask.
Yeah.
Well, unless you're like you've been in a relationship for long enough that the pretenses of a lot of that bullshit kind of go out the window.
Yeah, not always. Yeah, it was still me initiating a vast majority of the.
No. The guy is definitely initiating sex far more often. Yes.
Yeah. No, I remember a guy called Love Line and was like complaining. He's like, "Look, when me and my girlfriend had sex, like I always initiate it." And they like asked some questions like, okay, so she always has sex with you when you initiate it, right? And he's like, yeah. And they're like, so what's the problem? But yeah, if you're actually once you're actually
that actually got me for a second. So I was like, no, I kind of understand what his problem is. He would like her to be enthusiastic as he is. She wants him to be like into it as much as he is, and it's like, well, not everybody's into it as much as you are. That's just not realistic
and for me, that's why I'm like, fuck, man. Like I said, the ex would initiate often enough. But I still, part of me is still like, fuck, yeah. And is she just doing this that she feels obligated to? Like, I fucking don't want that to be the case. Well, not really, I guess, but yeah. So. That's what they were kind of getting at, and I'm like, no, I get it. Like, you don't want to think you're just constantly forcing the woman.
It's one of those things that the MRA chicks, I think, very correctly diagnoses a big problem in a lot of relationships is where women are kind of like reluctant or just not interested in sex with their partner unless they do all sorts of weird jumping through hoops bullshit. And they're like, no, you don't understand. If you make it a regular, constant thing, you won't have to beg him to jump through those hoops. He'll be happy to do it because he's genuinely appreciative of the way you treat him. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have to, you won't have to, like, beg for gifts or try to get him to, like, buy you shit. If you're putting out on a regular basis, he's going to be happy. He's going to be like, oh, yeah, we should totally get this for you or do that thing for you.
Yeah.
You know, because
Yeah.
it's part of a healthy like relationship. For men, men need sex on a fairly regular basis because it's how they express love. It's the physicality of it.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, oh man, the bonobos have bigger fucking cocks than the chimps do. I guess that makes sense. Like, yeah, chimps bones are like smaller. Both of them have gigantic nuts, which
Yeah,
is
yeah,
fucking
yeah.
always kind of weird.
The less, what do you call it? Monogamy that's involved within hominid species, the larger the nuts. So like
Yeah,
gorillas got
yeah.
tiny, tiny, tiny balls because they're very monogamous. It'll be like one main gorilla guy, and he'll have like 4 or 5, female gorillas that like he's banging, and no one else is. There's no other men, so he doesn't have to have giant balls because he's going to get everybody pregnant, and they're just,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. So
Indeed.
it's not like what do you call it?
Sorry, I found the video I was talking about. I'm trying to get it to where it stops right where they're actually fucking. So show the rest of that.
I don't need to do that. It's okay. It's all good. A completely unrelated, separate note. Have you guys seen that new Alien movie? Alien Romulus?
No, I haven't actually.
So, from a lot of hardcore Alien fans, they say the movie's terrible, but for everyone else, it's fucking fantastic. It's done really
so from the
well.
perspective of an alien film, I get what you're saying.
Yeah, but that's not the part that I'm particularly interested in, because apparently, for a limited time, because it's going to be coming out on well, it's out. I think it's out on digital already, but it's going to be out on like DVD and everything. But the director announced that for a limited time, they're going to release the movie on VHS.
Oh, interesting.
I thought that was a fucking
weird
phenomenal
choice, but hey,
Well, considering
more
that
options better than less options.
Well, it's kind of like when vinyl records came back in fashion, and it shocks me because I noticed that like my local drugstore has vinyl records now, and they're new ones, like from like the modern day artists and all that. They're coming out with vinyl records. I thought that was kind of interesting. All right, it's a trendy thing. It's whatever else, but VHSs, because some people said that it would come back. I knew it would come back. For me, I'm just like, yeah, I fucking called it. Because there's all these companies that are making VCRs.
It probably won't come back. Cassette tapes.
They already did.
Really? I'm shocked because cassette tapes were fucking terrible.
Cassette tapes, all right.
They were better than records because you could take them places, but God, they're just so fucking bad.
Cassette tapes came back when Guardians of the Galaxy came out.
Because that makes sense.
Now it's probably still a specialty item, so it's probably not everywhere. But it's probably you'll probably see more of them. My local Walmart was selling those Walkmans again. So go figure.
All right. Okay, I think I nailed the bonobo clip.
All right, and like that, I'm gonna dip out for now. So you guys have fun with your bonobos.
Yeah, no, I stopped it like right as fucking. It's just lead up. It's almost all the lead up to it.
Okay, I gotta go.
Oh, it's age restricted. I can't watch it on the fucking Discord. That's so funny.
Oh no, it's so awful.
Well, have fun. Have fun with your not watching monkeys have sex thing.
I got your fucking phone number, dude. I'll text it to you.
I'm watching it now. I already said that. I can watch it on the Discord because it was like...
I know. I'm kidding.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Yeah, also I found one that might give you a little better idea of the size of that suitcase.
Yeah, she's just started escalating her like, hey, asshole, fuck me.
Yeah. Yeah, that was nice. That was the exact clip I was looking for, so nice that I got it right away.
And what was the other one? Oh, yeah, I see what you're talking about, of how small that case is, yeah.
Yeah. Like, even a guy that's only 5 foot tall, it seems like it'd be tough to fucking, even, obviously fetal position, I've got to assume, fit in there. Can't do Deutsch Deutschen.
Oh, shit. Apparently, a lot of stores are marking all of their items at $951 now in California, and then applying
Huh?
non-shoplifting, non-criminal discounts.
Oh, nice.
And so, because
That's
they
fucking
have to
awesome.
they have to prosecute if it's over $950.
That's fucking awesome.
It's brilliant.
Yeah, I assume. Yeah, I assume the counter solution is going to be to bust the shopkeepers for price gouging or something.
Yeah, probably.
Just, I'm looking ahead.
They'll probably try to find a way to get away with not prosecuting still.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No doubt.
But hey, they're trying. You got to give the shopkeepers credit just for like the attempt. You know what I mean? Like whether it works or not, they're at least saying, hey, maybe we can figure a way out to like manipulate these rules so that we can, keep running our businesses and not just like go out of business. So you got to respect the attempt. It's a clever idea, even if it will fail. Yeah, they're probably going to say like it has to be the value has to be independently verified, so they can say like, well, yeah, you can't charge $951 for a pack of gum and claim that that's worth shoplifting. Just because you made the price, that doesn't mean it actually has that value. That kind of dumb shit. Yeah.
Hello. Hello.
Hello. Oh, you were gone. Oh, that's not
Okay.
fucking
Yeah, I heard it.
California's going to make their
like,
own.
The
Oh yeah, California's going to
So
make
I
their
was like,
own
they're trying to
value
tap off and come
evaluation.
back on.
Essentially, I guarantee it. California will be like,
Right.
you say the gum is worth $951. We're going to say that the actual value of the gum is less, and that therefore we don't have to prosecute.
Yeah. Have they already said that's what they're
Oh
going to
no,
do?
I don't think they have yet. But I'm just saying that's the event.
Speculating?
That's going to be the end goal, because it would be way too much of a pain in the ass
Yeah.
to make a whole new law. They're just going to say like, oh well, just because you say it's this price doesn't mean it is. And just like totally disregard like the way the laws are now, because that's how they work. They don't actually follow any real laws.
Right. Because that's not actually on the books, is it? Or the no prosecuting below. Like, is that an actual law, or is that just like a guideline they go by? The 950.
I genuinely don't know.
Right. Yeah, I'm curious about that. Because if it's not actually like on prosecutors or whatever, they really don't have to do. They don't really have to do anything. Just keep doing what they've been doing.
Yeah. Well, I hope it works.
Okay, look,
I hope it works for as long as they can, and then it gets people thrown in prison.
Yeah.
And a lot of these people have stolen
I don't see
way more than $951 in value total, like when you count all the things they've stolen put together.
Yeesh.
Because like what they do, they'll have like those things where like everybody gets together and robs them like all at the same time. Like the flash mobs or whatever, the flash mob robberies is the thing now.
Oh, right. So they just go in a fucking mob and just rob and destroy everything.
Yeah, beat the crap out of the poor clerk who's just some random minimum wage guy. It's like, yeah, I understand that you're just, doing your job and like jockeying a register for somebody else's profit, but you deserved it because you're working for a white-owned business and blah blah blah. And equity, equity, equity. This is how we've justified stealing from people. Equity, equity, equity. It's our justification for theft. It's like, no, the only equity you need is in treatment under the eyes of the law and opportunity. After that, you're just making shit up. You're just stealing from one group of people to give to another unjustifiably. Because if some dude works hard... Oh, are you gone again, or are you here still?
Yeah, no, I'm here. I'm just
okay.
texting my son about picking up my meds and shit. So
Yeah, never mind. I'll just... Yeah, no worries. Yeah, let me know when you're done. It's all good.
Yeah. Yeah, let's see. Okay. Okay, sorry.
Oh, no worries, no worries.
Yeah, I was listening. I just wasn't talking. I was hearing what you were saying.
On numerous occasions, I gotta go, do stuff too. So I'm certainly not gonna worry about that. Like, oh no, our legions of fans will be so disappointed. Oh yeah, that whole thing with Blonde was fucking. That's funny. So I don't know what Blonde has been saying about Matt. But I do know I watched almost all of that stream that you sent. I kind of got at the last hour. I just couldn't keep going because it was getting kind of repetitive. But Matt spent most of that stream defending Blonde.
Yeah, that's why I tend to land on his side of the things, because he does seem like somebody that's goes out of his way to be fair and charitable beyond beyond
way
what most
beyond
people would
fair
consider
and charitable.
Really.
Oh yeah, way beyond the necessity of anything that would be socially required. And it sounds like she tried to make some claims that were kind of bullshit because she was unhappy about being called out for not doing anything. So, like, apparently, from what I heard, more or less, she was just showing up and then taking half the money from the show, and then had gotten even more lackadaisical recently, where she wasn't even participating in like the super chats the whole time and was leaving early a lot.
Yeah, she was definitely. Yeah, I didn't really think anything of it or really notice it because I don't pay that close attention.
The show, so
but once he had mentioned that, once he mentioned it, I'm like, yeah, that's true. She was cutting out early almost every fucking time. But again, I just didn't like think anything of it until he said that, and I'm like, oh yeah, think anything of it until he said it. Yeah.
Yeah, which is a shame. Yeah, I still stand by my thing. He needs to get 4 brunettes, and they'll be like the 4 non-blondes and Matt. And then their show can be called "What's Going On." That was fucking terrible. But I don't know, man.
No, I'm still like really proud of my honey laundering pun. So, yeah, I get it. I know where you're at, dude. You come up with something, you're like, damn, I like that. I'm proud of myself for that one. And it was good. It was definitely clever. Well done. Very punny.
Yes.
Yeah.
Man, I don't know. That whole thing is too bad because it's like, they were all chilling. They were doing so good together as like, show together,
Yeah.
and it was just unfortunate that you know, she just didn't feel the need
No, I really.
to participate
Yeah, no, I
or do any
really.
work.
Yeah, I know. I really liked the dynamic they had because Matt's like fucking overly reasonable, like to a fault almost.
Yeah,
And
yeah, and
she's just
she's
fucking.
mentally
I'm gonna
ill.
run my mouth out and say whatever. Yeah, yeah. She's like, I'm just gonna say any whatever crazy shit I'm thinking, and because yeah, she is fucking obviously mentally ill.
Oh, she was letting the
Whatever it
hard
is.
R's fly a lot.
Was she? Holy shit! I don't remember
When I
that.
say hard R, I mean the word retard. I'm sorry. I should be
Oh,
clear.
I'm sorry. Okay, I gotcha.
As
I
a
gotcha.
joke, my bad. I realized immediately after saying it that I had not made that very clear at all, and that was
Well, I mean,
it was entirely fucking my fault, like, and not anyone
I was gonna
else's.
say you said hard R.
Yeah, and
Like, I
that
don't think
usually means
anybody
a whole
says,
different
that word
thing,
with
and
that.
yeah, I realized it pretty quick. Like, oh yeah, that's not what that means.
I'm like, I feel like I would have remembered that, even if it was blonde. Like, it wouldn't have been that.
It wouldn't have been surprising though, right? Like if you be like, oh yeah, no, I totally see you're saying the N word with the hard
if it
R.
happened a lot, it would be.
Not on the show.
I do miss episodes
Not necessarily
pretty
on the
regularly.
show, perhaps.
Oh, right. Right,
But just
right.
in her own personal life, I can see her saying that pretty constantly.
Yeah. Yeah, if I had to bet IRL, she is no stranger to that hard R word.
Yeah, yeah. I don't think she's saying it on the show because then they wouldn't have a show. But
Yeah. Mm. Indeed.
man, that was such a weird thing, and I feel so bad for Matt because he is such a even-keeled, nice guy. But it sounded like he essentially was getting to a point of frustration where he felt the need to be like, look, if you're not going to put any work in this, I can't keep giving you half the money. Like, I should be getting all of the money or most of the money because I'm doing all or most of the work, and it's just not fair for you to be taking half the proceeds away just because your name's on the show when I'm literally doing everything. And it's not like he hasn't asked her or given her the opportunity to step up on many occasions. That's from what it sounded like.
Yeah, and that's the other thing I had an issue with. Is like, look, we can discuss this later, and we can do the show tonight, and it still be the 50-50 or whatever. And then work on that off after the show during the week, whatever. And she just kind of blonde it out and just say, all right, I'm done, fuck you, and I'm not going to let us do any kind of joint thing. I'm going to put my shit out before you do about what happened.
Yeah, apparently all on Twitter.
I don't think it was that unreasonable.
Yeah. Well, that sounded like a pretty reasonable idea. Yeah, where like you just sit there and be like, all right, we're just gonna like have a discussion on air and explain to people like, hey, you know what, we have come to an impasse where neither of us can really feel like we're in a fair situation, and so we're unfortunately gonna have to go our separate ways. And that's just how it is, because that's what happens after 400 and some odd episodes sometimes.
Yeah. Or even if not this Sunday, you could have just gone like, look, let's just fucking do shit as normal this week. Still 50, all that shit.
Well, and
we'll
apparently
talk about
he'd
it over
asked this on multiple occasions, and she refused
and if it's
to
by
step
Sunday
up
we're
on multiple
splitting,
occasions. Yeah,
let's do one last show, whatever.
My suspicion is she was mad about losing out on the money.
Yeah, and I get where he's coming from, because like apparently she was coming back with, well, I want to do this and this. Yeah, absolutely. She is a woman, so I can't imagine she's less entitled than the average woman. So yeah, taking that, even suggesting that she take a pay cut, despite doing like 10, essentially maybe 10% of the labor, just like being 10-20% or whatever that fraction would be. She's like, nope, I should still get the whole full 50.
Oh yeah.
So, but yeah, the way she handled it was obviously shit.
Yeah, so sad. So sad.
Let's see what. Yeah. Damn it. Gotta check something else here. Bear with me. Fuck. Let's. I've got to deal with the prescription thing here at some point before like 5:30 at the latest. Would you rather go to like 5:30 and cut it early, or do you want me to just drop off and call him real quick? Not real quick. It's probably going to be on hold for like at least 4 or 5 minutes. Which way would you rather handle it?
I don't really have a preference. Either one works.
All right.
Whichever one, because like whatever
Okay.
is gonna guarantee you get to deal with whatever your prescription thing is the most. Like you'll get your stuff.
Okay.
So like I can fucking we can call it a day now if that's what you need to do to get like your real life things done. Like for sure, I'm fine with that. Or you can go and sign off right now, and I'll just wait while you do that. That's totally fine. As long as you get your actual prescription.
Let's go another 20-30 minutes, and if we're kind of running out of steam, we'll probably just call it.
Fair enough.
Because I don't want to have to sit here with you just by yourself because there's no telling how long I'd be on hold. Sometimes it's a couple minutes, sometimes it's like 15.
As long as it doesn't risk you not getting whatever the prescription is, that's the only thing that matters as far as I'm concerned. Because I know for a fact that if I couldn't get like my meloxicam for more than a day or two, like I think in about 3 days is when I stopped being able to get out of bed real easily. Like my fucking my back and my shoulders starts to really hurt, and I can't fucking go do anything. Yeah, like I wouldn't want to be in that situation. I certainly wouldn't want to put anyone else there.
Yeah, it's about 2 days. It's about 48 hours for the Suboxone to get out of the system completely and the withdrawal to start kicking in.
Yeah,
I had a couple extras anyway, so I'm not in super
smart,
bad shape, but I definitely need it tonight.
I fucking waited super long this time, and I had like, if my meloxicam didn't arrive today, which it's arriving today, I would be in a serious issue. So like I can take it tonight when I'm eating dinner. I don't need it. I don't need to go grab it right now or anything. But like, I can take it tonight when I'm eating dinner.
Yeah, I hear you. Even without the withdrawal, just the pain fucking sucks.
Oh, there's no withdrawal from the meloxicam, thank God. But it would be just the pain. The pain itself would
the
get
pain's
to be
bad
too
enough.
bad.
Yeah, I gotcha. I completely.
In its own way, though, that's technically like a withdrawal in its own way, I guess.
Yeah. Indeed. Yeah, even if there's no, because withdrawal, even if there's not actually a pain issue, your body is going to make you hurt or you feel hurt.
Yeah, exactly. The pain in and of itself is kind of like a withdrawal. Yeah, you're gonna as it gets out of your system. But I would still have like a day or two, I think, before like the pain would get really bad, like to the point where I couldn't get out of bed or something. Where I'd have to spend like half my day in my bed icing my back and my shoulder. Which is weird, because like there's nothing wrong with them. It's just like nerve pain. It's such a fucking weird thing when nerves get pain. Because my left thigh will start to go numb, and then my shoulder will fucking hurt and get cold and weird stuff. It's like, it's just fucking weird.
Yeah, and it's an odd one if you haven't been through that kind of thing too. It's a hard thing to grasp. Because
people don't understand. Yeah, people don't understand.
Yeah, and again, I was definitely one of those people. As a kid, anyway, I'm like, "What do you mean your back hurts? What's broke?" You know what I mean? Like that's the kind of attitude a lot of people have that haven't dealt with it. I'm like, no.
Oh, you know what? I never had that attitude as a kid because my dad's back was all fucked up, but he was literally like a hunchback.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Like he had a big fucking hunch in the middle of his fucking back, and it was like he was like looked like he was kind of stooped over all the time. There was never any question for me as a kid. Like I was always like, "Oh no, man! If your back hurts, I totally get it." You know, like I'm not going to argue that.
Yeah. Yeah, and even me, I mean, that's I started having back problems, 15, 16. So it wasn't like I got like, it was just when I was very young. When I would hear about stuff like that, I'll be like, wait, like, so what part? Like, you got a broken spine or you got a broken what? Like, that was I didn't actually ask anybody that, but it's what I thought in my head. So yeah, it's if you don't have some kind of frame of reference for it, it's definitely not the easiest thing to grasp or to believe, I guess. So I feel like a lot of people are like, you're fucking bullshitting. You know what I mean? Like, unless I can see something broken or can see for sure something's causing it. Because again, there's very tiny little areas that can be affected that can cause an immense amount of pain.
Oh yeah.
Like a slightly bulged disc may not look all that bad on a fucking
On paper, yeah, it looks like in an X-ray or on paper, it looks pretty mediocre. Oh, Kamala canceled on Joe Rogan. Oh, another buddy of mine just sent me a thing. My Venezuelan friend. He's like the same age as us, like 45, 46. And Kamala Harris backed out of her appearance on Joe Rogan. Trump is probably still going to go on because Trump doesn't have a problem saying, "Yeah, ask whatever fucking question you want. I'll answer it." Because he's not a little bitch. He's not a giant fucking.
Did you watch the?
I did. He was great on that.
Did you watch any of the one with the Undertaker?
I watched him. I watched that whole thing. I watched the whole thing. It was so pleasant. He was such a nice guy. He's incredibly fucking adept.
Yeah.
And just
he redid it.
Just that social sort of like small talk kind of like
amazing. He's a lot of charisma, a lot of fucking ability.
He was showing genuine interest and concern about
interest
in the Undertaker and concern about his life and it must have been really tough doing this and that and the other thing. That must have been pretty dangerous. Or that's really cool. It's amazing how much hard work is involved in what you guys were doing. It was such a more like he clearly understands what it's like to not be a billionaire. You know what I mean? Like, you can tell that Trump has actual empathy. So I don't know if I would necessarily call him a sociopath.
Yeah, no, he's remarkably common folk.
Yeah, like he's.
I don't know that he has anything that rises.
People keep saying he's a sociopath, and I'm
personality.
Like I don't know that I agree. I've worked with sociopaths and many different sociopaths, and I would have to say he does not come off as one.
Yeah. Yeah, again, even if you're like faking it, I still feel like he would talk about himself a hell of a lot more.
Oh yeah, well, like,
and not because he went there and he's beginning interviewed.
Like I said, I've worked where I work. I've worked with many people. Oh, you've roboted out badly. I have no idea what you just said.
So it's
I don't know if your like connection changed or something, but you just started roboting for me pretty bad. Yeah.
All right. How about now? I switched back over to mobile.
Okay. Yep. I can understand what you're saying now. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I didn't even know I turned that back on. Oh, it was because earlier when I disconnected, I didn't know what was going on. I was trying to.
It was
earlier I had accidentally hit the airplane mode. Yeah, I hit the airplane mode, so that shuts all that shit down.
Okay. That makes sense.
And, because I didn't realize it at first. I'm like, what the fuck? I was trying to, go back on. And I'm like, oh, I see the little airplane symbol. I see what happened here.
Yeah. That's
but yeah, no, even a narcissist, anybody with, anywhere that rises to sociopath or, again, even an actual personality disorder, whether it's narcissistic, borderline, or whatever, I don't think they could go that long, even if they're faking it. I don't think they could go that long without making it about themselves.
Well, and he was he was totally fine with making a joke about how, even though he's a very big man, like a tall, big guy, because Trump is like, isn't he like 6'1" or something? 6'1" or 6'2"?
I think he's like 6'4". No, I think he's like 6'4". Yeah, I think
6'4"? He's
yeah,
very tall.
I
And
think
his
so.
son is also very
Yeah.
tall. I remember him talking about his son being 6'4". I thought he was 6'1" and his son was 6'4".
No, no, he was. I think his son's. I think Baron's like 6'9". I'm gonna double check it because I don't trust my memory. But
I'm looking it up right
um,
now. Let's see.
all right, you looking up
6'3".
Donald or
Trump
Baron?
is 6'3".
Okay. Hey, that's nice. The first thing that comes up for Baron.
6'9".
Yeah, 6'9". Yeah, 6'9".
And I remember Trump
Yeah, it's
saying,
the first thing that
like
comes
at the
up.
end of the Undertaker thing, like he was like, "Hey, do me a favor. Don't let your dad pick a picture to represent this on the YouTube of him and me standing together because I'm a big guy, but he makes me look like a tiny little man."
Yeah, yeah.
And I was
Yeah,
like,
no,
"That's
it's
so
not
fucking
that
funny
relatable
because
shit.
he's recognizing like the arrogance that he shows, and he's recognizing that he's not as big as the Undertaker." That's not that's not something you would really get a sociopath to do, very likely.
Yeah, and I'm imagining like Biden or Kamala. Let's say they're Trump's size and everything. They're going to be like kind of the exact opposite. They're not going to say anything about it, and they'll be like, "Look, if we get any pictures taken, we're going to have to do some forced perspective shit, so I don't look so small."
Yeah.
Like I feel like that's
Eric Trump
I don't
is
know for sure,
6'5".
somewhere between 6'3" and 6'5". Yeah.
No, he's
Yeah.
6'5". Eric Trump is
he's
6'5".
6'5".
I mean, that's what
Eric
the
Trump,
YouTube.
okay.
That's what Google
Okay.
says. Eric Trump says.
Yeah. Yeah, it wouldn't be surprising.
Donald Trump Jr. height.
Yeah,
No, I'm just
that'd be,
curious about the whole.
The whole family, yeah.
Yeah, Melania and the daughter are 5'11". Donald Trump Jr. is only 6'1".
Mm.
Wow.
Slacker.
I'm only 6 foot, so like, yeah, I'm
Yeah.
shorter than that whole family almost.
The
The women in that family are almost as tall as me. Like I'm
Right.
way shorter than that family on average. That's funny.
Yeah, 5'11" for a woman is pretty.
Even J.D.
that's
Vance, which isn't
fucking
J.D.
average.
Vance the guy that married Donald's daughter?
I don't think so. No, that's some Jewish guy. Fuck, what the hell is his fucking?
Oh, he's the Republican nominee for vice president in 2024. Okay,
yeah.
that's what he's 6'2", so he's only an inch shorter than Trump.
He's up there too.
Wow.
Yeah. So yeah, there was that thing. It was again pretty funny, and again self-deprecating. Also, the how he handled the marriage question after he'd asked it.
He was very smart in how he handled that. He was like, I'm not going to say anything that's going to get me in a lot of trouble. Thank you very much.
Right. Yeah, well, he asked him, he was like, so is that your second marriage? And then the Undertaker was like, who counts? And then he's like, all right, yeah, no, I'm not going to talk anymore about this. We'll cut this part out of the interview. Like, it was, the way he handled it, the response was fucking funny.
And he knew it was not going to get cut out. Like, he obviously knew. Just like, see, and I think the reason, and this is what I told my friend, was 100% the reason Kamala dipped out of the interview is somebody went to Joe Rogan and said, here's a list of things you're not allowed to talk about. And he said, you're fucking retarded if you think for a second that you're going to dictate that. I'm going to ask whatever the fuck I want. If she wants to sit down and have a conversation with me, it's just going to be a conversation. And I'm not going to... And he wasn't going to be mean or rude or insulting. But he's 100% going to just say whatever the fuck he wants to say. He's not going to play that game of like, this is a forbidden topic.
Yeah, if
like
I
he
was
just doesn't do that with anybody.
Dude, he should have fucking replied back with, here, let me show you the list of things Donald Trump said I can't talk about with him. Just send him a blank fucking piece of,
like
blank sheet of paper.
Literally, there's nothing sent there. Because I'm sure Trump has probably watched enough episodes to know that, like, Joe Rogan just doesn't do that. Like, he doesn't do that with, like, random celebrities. He's not going to do that with presidential candidates. He's going to talk about whatever he wants to talk about because that's how his show works. That's 100% how that show got where it is, and I don't think he's changing that formula.
Yeah, and Trump doesn't have nearly the fucking, Oh, there's a lot of shit to bring up, like, people she let out that ended up killing more people, and,
Yeah, oh yeah.
more bullshit.
Nothing was going to be off the... there was going to be nothing off the
Yeah,
fucking
I'm
table.
surprised if they. Yeah, did they actually do that, or you're speculating?
I'm speculating.
Yeah. No, I agree that it almost certainly would have happened, or did happen like that, or would if that got to that point.
Yeah. To be clear, this is all allegedly. I'm guessing
Yeah.
that this is what
no,
occurred.
it's definitely. Yeah, I would be
Or I
shocked
should
if
say, I'm
it,
fairly certain that that's what occurred.
yeah.
Because that's just.
Yeah, if
that's
it
the way
even
politics
got to that
works.
point, if it even got to that point, that is definitely how that would play out. I'd be.
Yeah, somebody sent Joe Rogan a list of things he wasn't supposed to say, and he sent back an email that was like, that was the end of that, and they were like, oh no, you're not going on there.
Here's my counter offer, and then again,
here's my counter offer. And then they were like, oh.
I'll tell you what. I'm going to send you a list of Trump's taboo topics, and any of them that you have in common, we'll take off the.
Well, and here's the thing that's really kind of wacky about that whole thing is, Rogan's not super one way or the other. Like, he's not super conservative, he's not super liberal, he's very much middle of the road. And I guarantee he would have been very polite and kind, and if Kamala just wasn't going to answer a question, he sooner or later would have just switched off on the topic.
Yeah, it's odd that she's that worried about. She's quite clearly panicking, and whatever establishment around her is panicking as well.
Oh yeah.
Did you see that? I don't know if it was like just a White House press conference or whatever, where she came out and like spouted off the fucking Donald Trump's a Nazi shit like a day or two ago. Did you see that?
Yeah, like
it's fucking crazy, right?
Like the stuff is just
like
insane.
Yeah, and it's stuff that's already been debunked. That's what's fucking really crazy about it. It's like stuff that's already been proven not true, and she's still throwing out these allegations, like they're, you know what I mean, like they haven't already been disproven.
It's the kind of stuff that should be illegal for them to say. Like there should be some sort of consequences for just flat out making shit up. Like they're not even like anything to justify the claim.
Yeah. That is one of the crazy things about the politics for that is you can literally say anything and you cannot get busted for like libel or slander.
Yeah, even when you're literally making it up whole cloth. Like there's nothing to base that accusation on. There's no excuse for it whatsoever.
For it all. Yeah, like I said, that's actually the way the law is written. That it specifically says. You can literally, again, not exactly that, but you can literally say whatever the fuck you want. It does not matter if it's objectively false to everyone. You will still have no penalty for doing it.
Yeah, I mean, well, at the end of the day, it's better to have free speech than not. I get it. I understand why it's the way it is.
Yeah, no, I definitely get it.
But there should be some way for him to like seek restitution that somehow evens that out, because like the amount of hits his reputation has taken for basically no reason.
Yeah, this is what I find really odd about that is the only people that are not gonna possibly check out that and see if it's true or not are the people that were gonna vote for her anyway.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like anybody that's undecided is going to be a person that is much more likely to actually investigate that kind of shit.
And say, wait a minute, you're claiming that this person is a Nazi. That's pretty intense. That's a heavy-duty accusation. Not only is it a heavy-duty accusation, but it's a fucking weird one to be making in 2024 on anyone, because there's really not a lot of fucking Nazis out there.
Yeah.
Not a lot of Germans from World War II still
she's
out there.
She's literally trying to claim that he's trying to get absolute, obtain, his goal is to get absolute power. Like, that's essentially what she's saying.
Which is why he didn't turn over the presidency in 2020 when they rigged it. Clearly he didn't turn over the presidency, and Biden did not accept the presidency in 2020, because that didn't happen.
Yeah, even when he genuinely believed, like a lot of us did, genuinely believe that it was stolen and that he fucking
Yeah. We all
you
knew it
know
was
that he could
stolen.
have been
I don't know
duly
if
elected.
believe is the case so much as like we know for a fact that it was stolen.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why I didn't say
And
stolen.
like the
Believe
evidence
was kind of
demonstrates
like
that if
a
you go
short.
like they have the evidence at this point, there's no question anymore if it was stolen or not.
Yeah,
It's 100%
yeah,
proven.
definitely not in my mind.
Like no,
Yeah, I'm
they've
saying
literally
anybody that's
gone through and
objective.
found all that. Like they
Yeah,
literally have proven that like all these addresses that were voting didn't go to houses. They went to just empty lots and shit. So there was no like
yeah,
all these
yeah,
votes were illegal. They know that it was all fake.
yeah. No, that's what I'm saying. Anybody that has like any amount,
It's been
you
factually
know, even
demonstrated
a
by evidence.
little.
That's the thing. Like it's factually
Yeah,
been
yeah, that's what
demonstrated
I'm saying.
via evidence. It's no longer a question of is
Well,
it
no, I mean
something that
people.
people believe or
Well,
not. It's a fact.
yeah, yeah, but again, people don't necessarily believe facts
No,
nowadays.
no, yeah, no. I'm not
Yeah,
arguing whether people believe it. I'm saying
yeah,
it is
right,
just a
right.
fact. But like we
Yeah,
know for a
no,
fact that it occurred. You and me know. And
yeah. In my mind, there's no doubt
yeah,
in my mind for sure.
yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. Like anybody that's, I feel like anybody
Yeah,
that's
and the only
capable
people
of
that are
being
going to
a
buy that shit
little
are
bit
people that were
skeptical.
never going to vote for Trump in the first place because they're just too dumb to
Yeah,
think for themselves.
yeah,
Because I'll tell you right now, if there was credible evidence that Trump was legitimately trying to take over, like start a new fucking Nazi regime, yeah, I would not vote for him,
yeah,
and I would be
yeah.
more than happy to speak out against him. Like you got to be kidding me! Of course, I'm not going to be okay with that. Like that's insane.
Yeah, it's again desperation, dude. That they're doing shit that's going to be
Well, I
I don't
thought the
know
desperation
neutral
was the
events.
like 4 fucking assassination
Yeah,
attempts.
yeah, yeah. There's no way. I feel like that is going. Yeah, that's going to happen again. I still think multiple times in the next 11 or 12 days
I
between now and the election,
I
and
don't
afterwards.
know if Trump is going to reach the election day alive. I don't think that
Yeah,
that's a guarantee
yeah,
at this point.
yeah. No, as soon as that's what I'm saying. This happened. In my mind, it happened as soon as that that disastrous debate where Biden just fucking, was revealed as the senile old man that he is.
Yeah,
It happened
yeah.
about
Well,
a
and then
few
like
days
poor
after.
Trump was. I think he was talking about it in the Undertaker interview where he was saying like, yeah, I spent all this time in preparation and money getting ready to fight against Biden through the whole thing, and then they
Yeah,
just switched over to somebody else for like no fucking reason. Like well, because they knew that Biden was going to lose, no question. But like literally he'd already like
yeah,
invested all this money and time into one thing, and now they just pulled the old switcheroo at the last minute, and there's no consequences for that, which is kind of silly, kind of
yeah,
absurd.
yeah. And you know what? If you recall correctly, he didn't step down until after that attempt failed. Like it was like what, a day or two
Oh
after
yeah,
that
yeah,
when
yeah.
he
It
finally
was
stepped
like
down,
it
but
was
he
like the
wasn't
same
keeping
day.
it.
It was almost like the same day.
Yeah,
I don't remember, man. It was either the day after
yeah.
or the
It was
same
either the
day.
next day. Yeah, it was almost immediate. As soon as that didn't work, they were hope. I assume that whoever and again, it's incredibly conspiratorial sounding, but true, I believe. Yeah, they were literally like, all right, we got one last gasp. We got this guy going to try to fucking take him out. When that didn't work, they're like, all right, you got to step down. Like, as bad as Kamala is as a candidate and as unlikable, she still has a better shot than you do. So you're done.
Yeah, that whole thing is so scary.
Yeah. Because again, if it had
Well,
worked,
well, that
if,
they
it,
just
if they had
made
actually
so
taken
many
some time,
attempts
do you
on him.
think
And I'm just
Biden
saying,
would
like, that they've made so many attempts on him already is what's scary.
yeah,
I'm not even talking
yeah,
about
he
the
would not
stepping
have.
down and other stuff at this point. I'm just saying,
Yeah,
like, the fact that there have been 4 attempts on his life is terrifying. Like, I cannot imagine at this
yeah, that's what I'm
point
saying,
what possesses him to keep going.
dude. It's pretty nuts, dude. But yeah, even
Because
the
I
way he
gotta
kind of
say,
expressed it.
I like being alive, and if people were trying to kill me because I was running for president, I might be like, yeah, I'm gonna go now, bye.
Mm.
You
Yeah,
know,
I'm not
I
all
don't
that
know that I
desperate
would
to be alive,
still
but,
keep going.
still.
I might just be fucking. All right, I'm gonna withdraw from the race. You guys want to murder me? I'm not gonna participate in this. Then I'm out. You know.
Mm. Yeah, I definitely wouldn't count on just the Secret Service to keep me alive. That's for damn sure. If I was him, and I hope he didn't. I hope he has own private guys like.
Oh yeah, I hope there's other
guys
people involved in
too.
protecting him at this point for sure.
Mm.
I don't think the
Yeah,
Secret Service has any
yeah,
intention of keeping him alive. I think quite the opposite.
yeah, yeah.
They're probably looking for the next opportunity to pretend that like he didn't follow their orders or something, so they can get away with just like, oh, I don't know how he died. It was weird, man.
Yeah, well,
Not my
especially
fault.
the first one there, because again, how long was that guy up fucking around on the roof before he actually started? Like, he had time to set up the fucking tripod and shit, and nobody fucking bothered to fucking take him out
Yeah,
before. Yeah, it's quite obvious they were deliberately allowing the dude to be there.
no
Because
question,
again,
no question.
how many people have
Well, and
come forward saying that they were like alerting like police and other
how
people
how do
the
they
fact he was up there?
justify not having somebody on a roof 100 yards away from the president? That roof
Yeah,
should have had
yeah.
agents on it. There's no reason at all. There's no reason that roof should not have had at least one agent on it at that time.
Yeah, yeah. Because what was it?
It's
That
pretty
literally the roof where he's
inexcusable that
from.
roof did not have agents on it as close as it was to it.
Yeah. Did that bitch step down? The one that was the head of the Secret Service?
I don't know. I
Did
don't
she
know.
have
That
to
whole
step
thing
down?
was just
Fucking
nonsense.
bizarre.
I mean, the whole thing
Yeah.
reeks of CIA setup. Like
hmm
their
Oh yeah. No, it's
ham-fisted,
probably
pathetic attempt at
similar.
fucking assassination.
Yeah, it's probably similar to the JFK thing. There's all kinds of fucking folks involved in that.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah, anybody that threatens the fucking powers that be like that, and again, nobody really has
It's
since
how Kennedy
JFK,
got.
really.
It's what happened with Kennedy. Yeah, Kennedy got murdered by the CIA. I think we're all pretty well aware of that at this point.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, again, since JFK was assassinated, there haven't really been any presidents that really tried to change shit in a significant way that was like a threat to the establishment, whatever the fucking.
Yeah. He was the one talking about getting rid of the
Yeah.
fucking bullshit where this
Yeah,
other
the
banking
CIA.
controls all our financing and all our fucking money
Yeah, dude, there
printing
was
and
all
shit,
kinds of
where
shit.
it's not even a government
Yeah.
organization. It's just some random private bank that none of us know anything about.
Right.
Nobody's
Yeah.
allowed
Yeah.
to
There was
know who
that,
owns
obviously.
it. Like, come on, that's
Yeah.
fucking dodgy as shit, right?
Yeah. And again, he was going to pull out of Vietnam. That was the big one to obviously the
Oh
military
yeah, they did
industrial
not want
complex.
that to
Whatever.
happen either, because that was our big
Um,
pissing match with Russia.
yeah. His brother was going after the fucking mobsters, so they were in on it. The fucking what was the other one? Oh yeah, he literally said, "I'm going to smash the CIA into 1,000 pieces."
Yeah. Because the
So
CIA
he
is
was
totally
obviously in on it.
unconstitutional. Like they keep
Right,
spying on
right.
American people. Like it's one thing to say like, all right, you're not allowed to spy on the American people, and they just don't. But it's another thing to say like, you're not allowed to spy on the American people, and they just continually do it over and over and over. You know,
Yeah,
it's like
yeah.
we have the National Security Agency to find spies that are in the country, and the CIA is only supposed to operate outside the country. There's no reason for the
Yeah,
CIA to be
yeah.
operating inside the country, yet they continually keep doing it. So of course he wanted to get rid of it. It's a totally un-American fucking institution.
Yeah, unconstitutional.
That
Yeah,
being said,
unconstitutional.
we've reached 5:30.
Yeah.
And
All right.
and I don't think we're going to get anywhere new with this, so we might as well call it and let you get
Yeah.
your prescription done so you don't miss that window.
All right. Sounds good. All right. So, real quick though, for anybody listening, the other two main ones I was thinking of was he was going to repeal the oil depletion allowance, which was a fucking
Yep.
scam that was making oil companies a shitload of money, and the civil rights shit as well.
Oh
Okay,
yeah,
that's it. Bye bye.
fair enough. All right,
I
bye.
just want to throw it in there. Yeah, there's like I said, probably even more I'm forgetting.